So people in government power kill you and clear themselves, clear the guilty, and incriminate the innocent, as you look at the beautiful American flag. So we won't spend time here long. We got one on my shirt here. Welcome, welcome. We're going to talk to you today. A great show. Thanks for waiting. If you did, it's raining a little bit, but not lightning, so it won't kill us. We're going to talk to you today about something unheard of. How people in government power kill you. And then they rig the investigations to clear themselves. There's several different tactics that they use. One of them is time. They wait a long time before they put the false answers to their crooked investigations out. And then if they want to get rid of someone, and we're going to show you facts, they incriminate innocent people and use a death by their own causing to incriminate someone who didn't do anything wrong, was in fact out protecting you. They do that a lot. People in government power, they rig the system because they control the whole system. And we're going to tell you with facts and evidence how they do that. Now, this is not the Alex Jones show, the dirtbag conspiracy theorist that he is. Not much unlike a independent sheriff candidate in Scott County, Tennessee, who's a conspiracy theorist who talked to me like a dog to my face. Wow. And then they say I did something wrong by not going along with somebody slandering me, and they frame it, they reframe stuff. They tell you what to focus on and tell you to ignore what's really going on. And if you watch it and pay attention to what's going on, you say, hey, wait a minute now. Maybe he's right. That's what is I see, and that's what I hear. But they reframe stuff. It's a popular tactic of the news. It's a popular tactic of government. Bait and switch, delay, come out with their lies when all the heat has died down. We're going to tell you their tricks. It's very important for you to listen to this, and we're going to tell you specific factual evidence. And you say, well, their courts would straighten that out. No, the courts are part of it. Tennessee courts are part of the crooked. That's what I'm trying to point out. And our tactics are working well. Probably have a lot of people on here, and throughout the next few weeks, we've got awesome press coverage. Now, people say, well, it's bad press coverage. So, say my name. Say my name. They don't understand that I'm in a particular situation that God put me in, allowed me to be in, where bad press doesn't matter to me. Now, that's unheard of. Unheard of when bad press doesn't matter, because I'm off to see the wizard. Why? Because of the wonderful things the bad press does, because of the wonderful things the wizard does. Now, I know they're calling me all kinds of names on Facebook, but they're on there calling me names, aren't they? And we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Not focus on it, but this is good. This is according to plan. But my particular circumstance is such that, let's see if we got anybody on here. Yeah, we got a few. Come on in. Charles Van Morgan Show. I'm Charles Van Morgan. So we're getting awesome press. Things are going according to plan. My particular circumstance is one that, while I was out protecting society better than any officer in the state, by fact, by their own admissions, I'll show you, they admitted that. In fact, I was getting good news press at the time. Uncovered a multi-state fraud theft ring covering hundreds of thousands of dollars. So So, and getting good press for it. So while I was out defending society, lowering the killing rate, the killing fields, which are these highways, and if you'll notice the past couple of days, we have had alarming deaths on Tennessee highways. Just 2 here in the past few days in this one county in Knox County, Tennessee. Just the other morning, 2 deaths in one morning, separate incidences. Just about 2 weeks ago, 3 deaths in a high-speed pursuit fatality wreck that's being covered up. So these are the killing fields. But I was out doing right, doing good, protecting society, praised by them, doing my job. And then I had a wicked supervisor come from Nashville, their internal affairs, which rigs investigations. They rig them. They're not real investigations. They are cons. They're cons. They're set up to do what the colonel, who's Matt Perry, or the governor wants them to do. They're not set up to determine who's at fault and who's guilty. They're set up to commit a crime on you. And it's kind of obvious right now, they won't even release the pursuit policy. It's 411 pursuit policy with the Highway Patrol. They won't release that. Why not? Well, they got to hide. They got a lot to hide because and this is important. If you drive down the road, this is important. If you ride in a car, this is important. If you leave your house, this is important to you. And unheard of. Not like Alex Jones, this is the real deal. I've actually been at Columbine, so to speak. I've actually been out on the roads, been inside their agencies, know how they don't operate effectively for you. They operate effectively to con you. Their government organizations are a con job on you. Have you ever heard anybody say that? And I'm not Alex Jones, conspiracy theorist. He's the one that said at Columbine that stage, that wasn't real. Much like your sheriff candidate, independent candidate in Scott County, that's also a conspiracy theorist that alleged a convicted murderer, and I'm not so sure about that, courts are rigged too, was a conspiracy set up, staged, didn't really happen. And they got him on camera on a clip slandering me. Now they tell you to focus on my reaction. You know, it's like what happens after the foul, and it doesn't look pretty, but they don't show you what happened and cover up the appropriate response. I'm a fighter, always will be. You're not gonna beat me into not fighting back, I always will. It doesn't work that way. You can give me a foul if you want to, which I didn't commit one, I'll fight back. That's the way we're gonna roll. You're not gonna intimidate me out of not defending myself. It's not gonna work that way. That's not gonna happen. What's gonna happen is you put your own damn stupid selves on the radar because you don't know what you're messing with. You don't know what you're messing with. You ought to look at some data, maybe read some books, get educated, get some advice before you start making war with this movement. It's called VOTE, Voters of Truth Enraged, and we'll walk right over you. So stick your stupid head up and see what the hell happens to you. And I'm not talking about violence, I'm talking about political warfare, which ain't very pretty. So the people on the page that think it's funny, the joke's on you. You won't know what hit you. And I'm not talking about violence with bullets. I'm talking about a well-planned strategy to get the will of the mass populace of Tennesseans away from those creeps. That's what I'm talking about, and it's working well. We're all over the news. My Facebook page has lit up. Thank you very much. I planned that. People don't understand, I planned that. You know how you get people mad? You disagree with them appropriately. Even be nice about it and watch the pigs fly, which are the dirty, nasty, self-interested voters that only represent a small percent. Those people don't represent anybody. Small percent. And they got a few votes, and their votes don't matter if we overwhelmingly show up at the polls. I'll be on the ballot in November. I'll probably be on another one after that. It's about getting political clout. Because they kill you and then cover it up. I'm gonna tell you the inside story about how they kill you. People in government power kill you and cover it up. And innocent people, they point the blame at them and say, hey, they did something to get their con job in order. They will destroy truthful dissenters and clear dangerous, killing people that some of them ought to be in jail. And we'll talk about it and show you names, dates, times, and places and how they rig investigations. They rig investigations. They're not real investigations. They are set up to incriminate people or clear people that are guilty. If they're not, where's the pursuit policy, Colonel Matt Perry? So, all across the state, all across the United States, you got any interest in this? Voters of Truth Enraged, or if you're in Tennessee, Voters of Tennessee Enraged. You can help out. Hello, see, we got some fans. Good morning. God bless you, man. Have a good day. And we can fight back. That's what they're trying to intimidate us into fighting back. And we're going to explain to you in the normal course of things how things are without their framing. Their framing points out a particular thing that's meant to confuse you. And you think, well, that doesn't make sense. Why would somebody be upset? Well, maybe it's because they got slandered in a public forum when they're running for office, and the person that slandered them is not running for anything that's on the ballot. They're just slandering them for their own self-interest. And my self-interest is to protect children. But they don't frame it that way. They frame it that I flip my lid. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be bad for somebody to flip their lid over protecting children anyway, but that's not what happened at all. That's not what happened. I've been going all over the state trying to get news press intentionally. It's a social movement tactic that drums up support for the truth, not doing anything illegal, but being beyond what people think is a social norm that's not illegal. You don't have to go along with the programs. You don't have to go along with what they consider a social norm, because what they consider a social norm is agreeing with them. That's wrong, that's crooked, that kills you. So I mean, you learn in sociology, you go in a elevator and stand backwards and look at the looks that you get because you're going against the social norm. You go to a public park and you start picking up garbage in civilian clothes and people look at you weird. Why are you cleaning up? It's because you're violating a social norm. You can't do that and disagree with somebody respectfully in a public forum and see what happens when you're on the ballot and it's your time and they reframe it as you're the one causing the problem, even though you're protecting little children. So today, Charles Van Morgan Show, welcome. Things are going well according to plan. This is easier than I thought it would be to get public attention for the right cause. Now, they want to say that a lot of bad things. We're going to cover all the grotesque stuff. I mean, we got people eavesdropping on my phone that are trying to develop a conspiracy theory on me checking on Michelle. Text her, are you okay? And she said, yes, she's been sick. And then I said I was waiting to speak where I was invited. I mean, they left that part out. I was invited there. Invited. I didn't invite anybody. I was promised, which I could sue them for violation of a contract. I mean, I do have a JD. They didn't put that in their newspaper article, did they? It is offer acceptance and consideration. They sent me an offer that they violated. It's in writing, and I accepted it. And I spent my time and effort and attended the meeting, and they violated that contract because they didn't allow me to speak. They got me up there to criticize me. So we're looking into maybe some civil litigation. I don't know. These people on Facebook think it's funny. Even if I don't win, which the courts are so jacked up, in a state court, you won't win. The Republican Party wins. And it's not even the Republican Party, it's Rhinos, Republican in name only. But they think I'm a toy. I'm telling you. I mean, this stuff is, you stick your head up in this fight against people that are trying to indoctrinate little children's minds against parents' wishes, which is the popular thing. Even the newspaper admits that little small detail. I'll brighten it up. Most parents believe they ought to have full, complete control over how their children are raised. I agree. Not a rogue teacher that's willing to insult and shove stuff down people's throat in order to fill her billfold, which they don't tell you about that, do they? They don't even show what she said to me. They won't show it. I dare them to show it. They won't. And they won't show what the other man said to me. Stood up in a violent, threatening manner and told me to shut up and sit down when I was given a contract in writing to be there and to be able to speak. And I was speaking the truth. And lie about anything. Not sorry about anything I did. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. Ought to be ashamed of themselves. You can campaign with some people that set up a form in Scott County if you say what they want you to say. Is that political campaigning or being part of the problem? As long as I don't break any law, threaten any intimate lawless action, I ought to be able to run down people in government power, but you can't do that because they want to facilitate the system as it is. I'm talking about changing it. Why do we need to change it? Well, because you are in danger, for one thing, very obvious on Tennessee roadways, because these traffic wrecks, these high-speed pursuits that they have very often, I mean, it's in the news hot, that they clear people that are guilty of violations of the law that ought to be in jail in pursuits that kill innocent people. And they incriminate troopers that they want to get rid of. They use the pursuits, deadly pursuits, to sort out their power in state government. If you stand up for truth and righteousness and defend little children in the government, then they'll use an incident, a pursuit, or some other incident. People in government power know this, to get rid of you. So you shut up and go along with the program, which I didn't at that time know it was that bad. And people, and I'll tell you several cases, names, dates, and times, people that kill people, kill your family members. A trooper or a police officer knocked on your door and said your loved one's involved in a car wreck, and a drunk driver hit him. And that's a lie sometimes. A drunk driver didn't hit him. A trooper was in a pursuit, and the trooper didn't follow the law and didn't follow a policy that they won't even put out. If they followed the policy and the law, why ain't they putting the policy out? You don't even know what it is. You don't even know the standard they're held to, because they're not held to a standard. They're going to change the policy to fit what the trooper did that they want to clear at the time. Where's the policy? Why won't they put out the rules? Because they want to change them and clear the guilty and incriminate the innocent. Now, they find it a little difficult when they charge an innocent trooper or a police officer with the crime in a pursuit. So they usually just defame them all over the news, because if you get charged with a crime, you get the benefit of a jury, which is citizens like you all, and you can explain and tell this truthful story and point out how the government's lied about stuff. And it makes them look pretty damn bad when they're sitting there lying under oath and you can prove it. So they don't go that far. They just indicate that you should have been charged, but they're being merciful. No, they're not. And then they put you civil violations on you, civil charges, and take your job away. And then they say, oh, look, he got convicted on appeal and everything like that. It's a civil thing. And they have the judges that falsely find you're guilty of civil offenses, which is supposed to be 50, tipping the scale, 0.001%, just tipping the scale. Some people say it's 51. No, it's not. It's not 50. It's just 51. It's just barely tipping the scales, 50.001, enough to tip the scales. And if they want to get you, it is 0% And it's 100% and you're wasting your time even to go to court because they handpick the judges that are going to rule in their favor no matter what the facts are. If they don't have the facts, they make them up. I'll show you proof positive. They lie on reports. They commit perjury under oath. And if you don't think it's important to you, you drive down the road to work and you get run into, maybe killed, or somebody in your car killed by somebody high up in public office, and the Tennessee Highway Patrol Critical Incident Response Team, their Tennessee Highway Patrol Critical Incident Response Team, and their TBI that works for them, not you, will come and clear the guilty highfalutin official or somebody in power, somebody with money that they want to protect, will clear them and say, you did something wrong. So if you don't think this is important to you, enjoy a prison cell for many years, and while you're there, think real long and hard about who tried to warn you about it, because it's criminal conduct by the Tennessee Highway Patrol, blatantly sticking it in your face. I mean, the colonel has said you have no constitutional rights. Colonel Matt Perry, I've met him. I'm not talking about somebody I just heard about on the news. I met the dirtbag, pathetic, protected, coddled major over the Tennessee Highway Patrol. He didn't get there because he protected lives. He got there the same way you'll get to jail, not because you did anything wrong, because it's somebody important they want to lift up. He got there because his mama and his daddy and his aunt. His aunt was former Supreme Court justice, and his daddy was a former major, and they protect the upper class, and you'll go to jail. And good for them. Good for him being major. It's not about being mad at them. It's what they'll do to you. And I'm telling you, just the other day, about a week ago, 3 people murdered in a Tennessee Highway Patrol pursuit. And the news, they put it out just one time real quietly because they know there are people that like stuff like what I'm saying, which is the truth. And they put it out one time that the Tennessee Highway Patrol will not release their pursuit policy, although every other department in the state does, specifically related to a deadly pursuit killing 3 people here in Knox County, and they won't tell you what rules they're held to. Why is that? Because they are going to clear the guilty, and they are going to incriminate innocent people, and that don't mean they're going to incriminate them. That means they're going to incriminate you while you're innocent. That's why this ought to be important. We'll explain to you how. This is hocus pocus Alex Jones stuff. This is stuff. I work for the Highway Patrol. I know the CERT team. It's a con incident rig the truth team is what it is. It's designed and set up to have a special investigation unit to come up with lies, to do whatever the hell they want to. The truth is irrelevant to these people. You need to get that. The truth's irrelevant. If they don't have the facts and the truth on their side, they'll make them up. You say, well, that's perjury. The judge will stamp the weight of law on their perjury and say it's the truth. I've seen them do it in real time. This isn't a vindictive vendetta, and I'm not bitter. They did that just a few months ago on me again, not in a car wreck, in a different situation in their public courts. They say that I don't even have constitutional rights, and they did it in 2012, and they're fixing ready to do it right here in Knox County, and you can see the trail because they've hidden pursuit policy 411 that doesn't even tell you the standard that they're held to, because if the trooper violated the standard that they're held to, because there is a written pursuit policy 411, then they'll change it to make sure his conduct suits that and clear him. And 3 dead people were all running from police. And civil liability, I've looked it up. If you're a passenger in a car that they claim is running from police and you are killed by a trooper, your family gets no compensation if you're a passenger in a car. First of all, declared by them to be running from them, which is not necessarily true, because they can kill somebody in a car with a wreck that they cause and just say that they're in pursuit and or not anywhere near the wreck, not in pursuit. And if you're in their car with what they have said is running from them, then your family gets no money. There's no liability with the state because they were in pursuit and you're a passenger and you're assumed to be part of the pursuit even though you're a passenger. I mean, the truth could be you are being held at gunpoint by one of the driver's assistants and you're not responsible for anything. They kill you. You could be on a motorcycle, which was a real live controversy where a passenger on a motorcycle was killed in 2011 because of a pursuit by a trooper. And what's she gonna do, get off a motorcycle? And the Tennessee courts adjudicated that she was part of the crime when they don't know that. And they don't even know that the trooper did right, but they claim that they do. So we're gonna tell you some stuff very valuable to you today. They're gonna kill you on the roads and they're gonna clear themselves. We're gonna give you names, dates, and times. Join into the show. So, and we're gonna talk about the reframing, how they reframe stuff. It's all over the news right now in Scott County. Thank you all very much. Buy the paper, sell it out, so they'll print out my name more. And it's really irrelevant that they're printing bad stuff because it's not true, and I can prove it easily. They're trying to reframe stuff, put out stuff. And you know how it is in sports. I always say that the reaction that they catch and the referee calls a foul on the field always looks worse than the initial wrong. And that's what they show. That's what the referee calls, because he didn't see the original foul. He just saw the reaction. So he calls a foul on a person that's responding appropriately. But you can look at the replays and a lot of this stuff, and this is how they frame stuff. You can look at the replay, the whole thing, and say, well, wait a minute now. If you've seen the whole thing, the initial thing, and you don't reframe what you saw, them telling you what you saw, then that's a totally different story. A lot of people think, well, there's the video, we know what happened. Have you listened to a video without the commentary behind it? Listen to a video, a police pursuit video, or a video involving a police interaction without their commentary. You might come up with a different conclusion without it being implanted in your mind how to think about it. I mean, if you have a video of someone angry, it's not wrong to be angry. There's nowhere it's wrong to be angry. Anger is a justified, normal thing. You're not a nutcase if you get angry over mistreatment. You're not. Absolutely not. That's an appropriate response to outrageous conduct. And what I experienced was pretty outrageous conduct. And they even show part of the outrageous conduct. They don't show all of it. And they reframe it as me flipping. But if you listen to the video, even the part they show, I'm gonna post on my Facebook page today, what they reframe and say that incriminates me, because they're showing a little clip of a 30-minute video. It's showing a little clip of a small reaction of mine that's appropriate. I'm not apologizing. You know, if that man does it again, that's a free one. That's a free one, a stupid independent conspiracy sheriff fat boy. That's not gonna win anyway. I mean, so, you know, he's about a damn dumbass. He don't know what he's messing with. He stepped in some stuff that he ought not to have done. He's already got thousands of dollars in taxpayer money with a federal civil lawsuit off you Scott Countyans. I mean, what more do you want? And cases aren't necessarily decided based on what they should be. It's based on what the court decides, and also setting precedents for other people. A lot of times it's rigged. So, I mean, if you didn't want to get volunteer to be a canine officer, then why are you suing the county? So a court decided it. I mean, he got $40,000, and it was a federal court, so it's probably just. But he also initiated a conspiracy theory, like Alex Jones, involving somebody's death. You ask me about any conspiracy theory. No, they say everything I say is a conspiracy theory. No, it's not. It's the truth. I got facts, dates, and times to back it up. They say, well, a court adjudicated, the court lied. I can show you stuff how the court lied. I can show you stuff where they reappointed a different judge in order to get the ruling they wanted. Why do you have a list of judges that, by their own rules, is supposed to be one picked anonymously and by random appointment to a particular case? And why do you all of a sudden, for no stated reason, when you have a case that the state government has an interest in winning for illegitimate purposes, when the facts aren't there, and then they change the judge to another judge without any reason? We just change the judge. They're handpicking a judge that's going to rule in their favor, make up facts, and that's damn what he did, Judge Lefevre. So you can't trust a judicial ruling. And people all across the state of Tennessee, you know, because the judge said it, it's true. That's not true. Because the judge said it, he represents the governor, rules in his favor. Which is why, and this is important, I got a good message out to thousands and thousands of people the same day that paper came out that's lying about me. We're going to tell you how they lied about me, how they reframe stuff. And let me tell the truth, and you figure out what you think about it. They'll never show the whole video because it shows what they did, what I went through, those disgusting people trying to indoctrinate your children. That's a hill worth dying on, and I'm not dying on that hill. They are. They don't know what they're messing with. They think I just showed up and they can just run over me. I've been there, done that. My life circumstances has got me prepared for this. And that stupid sheriff deputy, former deputy, he doesn't even have any law enforcement ability. He thinks he's running around like a cop. You know, we might sue him trying to pull his weight as a deputy sheriff when he's not even working as a deputy sheriff. You can't act like a police officer when you're not one, stupid. I mean, you don't know what you're messing with. You know, you might hire lawyers to sue in federal court. I don't have to hire one. I am an unlicensed lawyer because of dirty. So you're messing with something. You ought to back up and apologize, or you stuck your head up and, hey, if you won't back down from a fight you ain't gonna win, then you're toast. Not violently, but I'll just politically point out what kind of trash you are. You got a free one, try it again, what you'd said to me in a public forum. Try it again, see what the hell happens. Come up to me in my face and slander me. And we'll talk about that. That's crooked as hell. Crooked as hell. So we got people on here, we got an awesome amount. So it's working like magic, isn't it? And they think I'm afraid. You know, this was planned for. Stupid people. You know, they take the bait. Just have to put a little bit of meat out there and wow. It's easier than I thought. But a lot of people, not you all, thank you for watching. A lot of people are dumb as doorknobs. They don't even understand. They think, wow, I'm shocked, humiliated, demoralized. I stand up for myself on purpose to get a message out. Now that you're on here, let me tell you the message. The government's crooked, it's rigged. They'll kill you on Tennessee highways and clear the officer that did it, or the high-powered, high-falutin political person in power, or knows somebody in power, or their family, clear them of killing you or your family, knock on your door and say you died in a car wreck, not telling you that you were involved in a wreck with somebody important, that they're gonna cover it up for a long time, wait till he goes away, and then clear your murderer, your family's murderer, with their incident rig the truth team and use judges to do it. And if you're a passenger in a car, you won't get no money anyway. They've done cleared themselves because you're part of a pursuit, even if you're being held at gunpoint. And they won't tell you that. And then if you're driving down the road and some drunken sot judge runs over you, or their family, or somebody in government power knocks the hell out of you, and you're fortunate enough to survive, and you're waiting on your compensation money because it was easy, they ran a red light, you have it on camera, or whatever evidence you got, and come to find out in their lying police report, people say, Charles Van Morgan, you're accusing officers of lying on reports. Yeah, they do it all the time. It's common, it's not a rarity. It happens all the damn time. I can show you, I can prove it. Now that I've got your attention, welcome, welcome. They do that all the time. They frame innocent people. And the guilty person that's broke your leg or your arm, they got the CERT team. And if the CERT team that knows you won't go in their favor, they'll call one out of another district to come and rig it that doesn't know you, that'll hang you out. And if you fight it, they'll hire expert witnesses that you pay for to prove that you're wrong when you're right. You'll pay for your prosecution of you. You'll pay for every damn bit of it. They don't pay for any of this. You pay for it. You pay for them prosecuting you. You pay for their lies, to spread their lies. That's what government does. That's what it's for. Them, it's not supposed to be. That's what we're trying to straighten out here, to tell you the gravity of this issue of how the courts are stacked up against you. It's crooked as hell. It's nasty as hell. And you're in danger. And I'm here to warn you. And we're going to give you some dates, times, some police reports that are clearly false, some judicial lies from the bench, where they will knock on your door and tell your daughter or your wife or your husband or your loved one's dead and it's under investigation, and then they won't release the pursuit policy, and they'll even in some cases deny pursuit and tell you the common defense in law school, the common defense. I mean, you listen to the major murder cases, O.J. Simpson. What was his defense? Rigged, and some other dude did it. Some other dude did it, and they'll tell you somebody else did it. Not their officer, not the person who they want to protect, and then they hang out the innocent people. So today, we're going to tell you their Alex Jones story. Derek Chauvin and their independent sheriff's deputy and their rigged wrecks, their rigged investigations against you. They're above the law and you're under it while you're innocent. And they will kill you. They will kill you and your family members and clear themselves. And one of the tactics they use is delay, delay, delay. They have a law to where if it's under investigation, they don't have to release any facts. So they wait a long time before they release anything. You try to get information on that wreck that happened here in Knox County involving a trooper, and they won't release it. It's under investigation by Sharman Tissue Allen, the Knox County line prosecutor. She does a podcast to brag on herself every day. It doesn't have many views. She's not doing very well because she's a crook. She's a liar. You don't know how she really acts in the back hallway. You arrest one of her buddies that's a lawyer for being drunk and endangering herself and others, and that case will get dismissed and you'll get talked to like a dog because you're not allowed to arrest the hierarchy. They're better than us. And if you insist that you're going to follow your oath, and you see what happens, they'll teach you a lesson than every other trooper in the state. You go against us, you see what we did to Van Morgan, Charles Van Morgan that is. We'll show you how this is done. It's like a criminal syndicate government right now. And the way they make it good is it's under a Christian governor. Wow, isn't that a lie? We run this government from the church. We're so good and honest. Isn't that a crock pot? We run our schools, our public schools, from the church, is what somebody tried to argue the other day. And simply because I didn't go along with that self-interested program, you see what happened. And then they reframe. Now let me tell you about that crooked deputy sheriff. And like I told you, if you're listening to me and you all send him this video, you got one free time to accost me and insult me to my face. The next time it ain't gonna go down that way. So you best keep your seat, use your time. I didn't get up and interrupt you. I was invited. Contract, you helping violate a contract. I didn't approach you, didn't insult you, didn't say anything to you. You came up, and this is what they don't show you, and they're showing a video. I'm gonna show it on my Facebook page today and tell you, don't listen to their reframing. I know their reframing is I'll flip my lid. It's not flipping your lid to stand up against somebody insulting you. Listen, let me tell you this. Listen to what that dumb deputy said to me, to my face, during my time. During my time, he said that I was an embarrassment to law enforcement. Did it show you why he said that? He's just putting out stuff. I'm embarrassment to law enforcement. No, he's an embarrassment to law enforcement. He's trying to act like a law enforcement officer when he's not even a law enforcement officer. He's retired. And they're not telling you that was my time to speak. The candidates for the governor were up there. His time was past. So he's accosting me. He's coming up front to where I am asked to speak and saying nasty stuff to me. Listen to that video and listen to what that man says to me to my face. That's your free one. Mr. whatever his name is, Fat Boy Waylon or Chris or whatever. That's your free one. You do that again and you'll wake up next week. You're not gonna talk to me like that to my face when I'm given time. I didn't come up there and accost anybody. I was told I would get time and you interrupted that time. Do it again, boy. You think you're a badass sheriff. Do it again. That's your free one. You send him this. Did you hear what that man said to me? And I didn't realize till I played it back. So they're saying I flipped my lid. Listen to what he said to me. He's flipped his lid. If you insult somebody calmly, in a calm manner, that's okay. So if I walk up to you and tell your mother is a dirtbag, you know what, on the street corner, as long as I say it quietly and calmly, that's okay. Doesn't matter how you say it. If you say it calmly, that's defamation. That's false. Those are fighting words, which are illegal, which he committed a criminal act. That sheriff committed a criminal act. Well, where he's inciting intimate lawless action with the ability to do it. He's right up there in my face. I didn't approach him, he approached me. They don't show you that part of the video, do they? No, they show the dumbass independent sheriff, conspiracy theorist spreader that put out a conspiracy about Derek Chauvin involving a murder. Just like Alex Jones, he did, not me. I'll back up anything I say. It's not conspiracy, it's the truth. Law enforcement rigs wrecks in the state of Tennessee. They rig judges. That's why I got your attention. And I put out all over the state on my Facebook page the way to fight them. And here's the way I fight. One of them said I was a nut job and needed counseling. That's their insults. I put out on my Facebook page a picture of the ballot in Knox County and put out on it, put out on it to replace the judiciary. It's my advice. That's nonviolent voting. Now, who's the one that's violent and dangerous? I'm advocating voting against these people. That's the crime. you better not advocate voting against the establishment, then you're a nut job. Why not? Because they kill you, they rig cases. The judiciary in Tennessee's gone to hell. They promote a colonel that says you have no constitutional rights. That's the truth, it's not conspiracy. I'm not talking about Columbine from a television, talking about it was rigged, didn't happen, like Alex Jones. I've been there with my feet on the ground, I've met the colonel. He's trash, he's good for nothing, he's useless, he'll violate your rights, he thinks he's better than you. I have met him, I know him. If you get 2 words out of his mouth, if you walk past him and said hello, he wouldn't speak to you. The news tried to ask him about some crimes the other day, and he got in his little SUV and took the hell off. He lied under oath in a judiciary, in a hearing before a committee in the Tennessee state government. That's real, that's not conspiracy. I spent 4 months with that piece of dirt. He's responsible for thousands of unlawful arrests and alleges there is none. That's what he said, that's his mouth. Listen to the videos. No unlawful arrests have ever taken place by his agency in the state of Tennessee. 2,500 of them over have, and that's just a small drop in the damn bucket. That's not conspiracy. That's mainstream, they cover up. So they covered here the other day, they give you a little dribble of the real news. I'm giving you a damn fire hose of the real news. There's so much, it's hard to cover all the corruption. But here's a little fire hose for you. They covered that pursuit the other day on a local news channel for about 30 or 40 seconds. They covered the truth that they have asked the Tennessee Highway Patrol, the agency I used to work for. I'm not talking like Alex Jones from a TV later. I used to work for them dirtbags. I know the pursuit, General Order 411, that they're talking about. Now, they rigged it since then differently to accommodate their wrongdoing, but I know what it basically is that has to follow the law somewhat today. And they put out a little dribble, listen to it, that the Tennessee Highway Patrol and the State Attorney General's office that protects the state government from the truth will not put out General Order 411, the pursuit policy. While every other department in the state puts out their pursuit policy, it's important for you to know the rules that could get you killed, because you know what they can do and what they can't do. It gives you your odds better. For example, they're supposed to take into consideration construction zones. So, and also take into consideration pursuit in school zones, in heavily congested areas where there's heavy traffic. So if you're in heavy traffic, then you could consider it's probably not a police pursuit, because they're not allowed to by law. They're supposed to take this into great consideration. You're less likely to get killed in a police pursuit. So, stuff you need to know, that when they come up on an intersection, that you have a green light, you have the right of way. They can't take it away from you. They're simply requesting the right of way. So if they hit you in an intersection, then by default, they're at fault, because they're asking for permission if they've got a red light. So if they hit you when they got a red light, they should be at fault. So if you go to court, you ought to know that, but they cover that stuff up. So it's important for you to know the general order, but they won't put their general order out. They won't let you know what standard their officer held to when they're running up and down the roads at hundreds of miles an hour. You don't know the criteria whether they're doing it responsibly or not. You don't know what to look out for your own safety and protection and well-being. They don't have to do that because they say they don't have to do that. So it'd be good for you to know the 411 pursuit policy, as every other state, as every other department in the state, and some other state patrols do. But the Tennessee Highway Patrol, it dribbled out in the news, although they've been asked they won't put out the pursuit policy, which has been in question for several months, and the colonel won't put it out. Why? They're covering up. They claim that it's covered under an act. Yeah, we know you're here. They claim it's covered under an act that prevents unlawful security access of their computer databases. So how is releasing them going into their database, getting their pursuit policy and releasing to the public any in danger at all of violating that rule against somebody getting into their computer system? It's not. It's a lie. It's a subterfuge. It's a fraud. They're lying to you. They have no reason to cover up what they're doing. As we get to our signature location, we're going to show you some facts, dates, times. So hang on and contribute. Thanks for the donations. We're going to show you how they mistreat you all the time in a lot of different ways. As you look at the beautiful view, so we'll try to make sure we don't get these people on camera. We try to give people their privacy. I'm not a First Amendment YouTuber. If people ask me not to record them, I won't, unless I have to for evidence to they're trying to do something bad. But I generally try to protect people's privacy. If I can. So we're talking about the State Highway Patrol covering up misconduct of their troopers with their critical incident response team, and we're talking about how they lie to you. And we're going to tell you some cover-ups. How they cover stuff up with names, dates, and times. So, I want to start off, we're here at our signature locations. You can look at the beautiful sun spear. And I pray that may God protect you and us, and lead and guide us to say the truth, to speak the truth while they lie. And I'd like to encourage everyone to seek the Lord, and you'll find Him. It's through the Lord Jesus Christ. Look up promises in the Bible. I'm just telling you how to help you. Look up promises in the Bible, and this is not a religious show, and I'm not a preacher. I'm just telling you some facts, some truth. And we'll talk about how they rig stuff. And I tried to tell them some truth up there at that meeting. And they tried to destroy me, but they ain't got it done. So, look up promises in the Bible, particularly the ones, I'm giving you some good stuff, that apply to your life and your life circumstances. Now, this isn't mysterious. Just something to guide you in the right direction. And apply the ones that particularly apply to your life situation and pray about them. Ask God to help that come to fruition. That'll help you be successful. So yeah, somebody's put some stuff all over my little sawdust over my little platform here, trying to deter me, hopefully that's what it is, from spreading the truthful message, which good luck with that. So we'll see how they put stuff here to try to keep me from broadcasting. So we'll get rid of most of it. Got almost 200 people in here. And broadcasting the truth. So, talked about Alex Jones spread a conspiracy theory about Columbine that was staged. Children did not get killed, according to him. That was all fake. Alex Jones, a conspiracy theorist. Now, that's not me. Yeah, so we're getting attention. Look at all this, people. So, and it looks like sawdust. So, the wannabe sheriff's deputy at that political forum just the other day that I'm all over the newspaper. Thank y'all very much for defending myself at that forum. Doesn't want to talk about his spreading conspiracies like Alex Jones. So he spread a conspiracy theory about Derek Chauvin, that he was the cab driver in New York, but that was staged. It didn't happen. They had an actor doing that. And that's not what happened. But he spread that all over Facebook, just like they're spreading lies about me all over Facebook. And he is the deputy. I'm going to place the former deputy, not even any law enforcement capabilities. I mean, he's acting like a law enforcement officer without any law enforcement commission at the time or authority. They don't tell you that. They make him a hero for being a cop without having the authority to do that. So he spread a conspiracy theory about Derek Chauvin that was all set up like Alex Jones. So he's Alex Jones. So that is the man accosting me that you'll see. I'm going to post it on Facebook. What they say is bad against me. It's not bad against me. I acted appropriately. It's appropriate to get angry and say, no, I didn't do anything wrong. I spoke the truth, defended myself. I'm a fighter. I will be. Now he gets that one free one. The next one, Deputy Sheriff, somebody sending this. It won't be that way, boy. You got one free one. Don't get in my face again. Now that's your warning. You'll find out when you wake up next week, boy. You and Alex Jones both. So I'm just saying, you don't know what you're messing with, toy. I'm not a toy. You think I just showed up and was out of hand? No, I wasn't. I know exactly what I'm doing. You don't, you damn fool. You had to hire a lawyer. I am one. Not licensed because of dirtbags like you. We're going to get our way for the mass populous Tennesseans. I know you got tax money out of people. I'm not getting paid for this. This is a free one for you. You better keep your distance from me. You got that? This is your damn warning. There's nothing wrong with advertising self-defense. He accosted me, the deputy sheriff, the Alex Jones, Derek Chauvin conspiracy theorist, acting like a police officer that's not. I have no more law enforcement authority than he does. I didn't act like a police officer. So he accosted me, and did you hear what he said to me when I play the video? Listen to what that former deputy sheriff, thug, creep, that's running for sheriff. He might be your sheriff now. He'll accost you and talk to you like a dog. That's what you're getting if you vote for him. There's a Republican on the ballot. That'd be your safest bet in Scott County. I'm just saying. Haven't heard from them, and I'll come back to Scott County. I'm not afraid to go to Scott County. You know, I'll go there. I've been back there, so all you Facebook trolls, wow. I mean, thank you for your help, idiots. So, you know, like Alex Jones spreading stuff on the internet, I think that scares me. You know, you don't know what you're messing with. You're messing with somebody that's thought about this ahead of time. I didn't just show up on the field to play ball. I've been practicing this stuff for years and years. Been there, done that. My circumstance is a little different than you. I know about bad press. I've done that, been there, and survived it, and I'll survive this too, because it's not true. But he accosted me, and I'll show you the video. And just remember the video. He accosted me. He comes up to me where I'm supposed to be, have a legal right to be, have been asked to be there by invitation and told I would be given a right to speak, not told I would be told to go along with the program what to say. Now he had his turn. of speaking. I'm sure they'll play that video. He sat there on his fat ass and spoke for a long time about how wonderful he was and what he'd do for all of Scott County. And then he showed you how, for public approval, he'll talk to you like a dog, even if you did nothing wrong, which is what he did to me. So if you want him, hey, when he's arresting you or just trying to dismantle you when you haven't done nothing wrong, remember what I told you. That's what you get. Vote for the Republican sheriff on the ballot. That's your safest bet. So he and somebody's put this here to try to deter me. We'll wash up. This won't hurt. That's how popular we're getting. I mean, it's dangerous being a politician, a truthful one. They try to kill you. So he accosts me, comes up where he has no right to, when I've got a right to speak. And listen to the words he says to me. Insulting. Had no right to say that. He can disagree with me after the event in a public forum saying that to me when it's my turn to speak. I didn't say that to him. And they don't tell you that. But you hear my response. I'm very angry about that. It's my personality to get angry when somebody insults me. Listen to what he says to me. They're reframing it as, look at my anger. Let me reframe it to the truth. I was supposed to be there, given the right to speak by people that paid for the event, that had it there. The letter says to come and I'd give time to speak. I was speaking, they didn't like what I said, so big deal. So they didn't tell me you have to come and you have to say what we want you to say. Really? Now that's what they do to politicians. They're not doing it to me. They're not doing it to me. If I can't say what I want to say, that's the truth. Even if you don't agree with it, listen to it and say I don't agree with it. Accosted me in the middle of my speaking, like some of the other rogue people in the crowd that are self-interested, threatened me and says some horrific, dirty stuff to me. And he's lucky he got by with that to my face. Focus on what he says to a political candidate with no proof of any of that, what he's saying. While he's the disgusting piece of dirt to say that. How dare you say that to me? You know, you better keep your distance from me. You got one free one. It ain't going to happen again. I assure you that. I don't care who carries an AR-15. Boy, you need that because you couldn't handle yourself without having to kill somebody, could you, you stupid dirtbag? You don't know what you're dealing with. I'd advise you to apologize because come next November, when you don't win, it's going to be funny. And if you do win, I hate it for people in Scott County. That's dangerous for you. That's what people they're electing. Vote for the Republican candidate. Somebody on there is trying to smart talk to me, said vote Republican. They don't understand. I like a lot of Republican candidates. So reframe it to listen to what somebody says to me without any proof that I'm guilty of anything he says. He says that I'm an embarrassment to law enforcement, that I'm making them all look bad. Do you see anything that I'm doing that makes me embarrassment to law enforcement? Other than him approaching me and saying that to me in my face, I'm where I'm supposed to be. That dirtbag has stepped over the line and he's accosting me. I didn't do that to him because I'm better than him. I'm not trash like that. If he had said something I disagree with, I wouldn't walk up there, you're embarrassment to law enforcement, all that, interrupt his time. He doesn't have common decency, dignity, and respect. And I left of my own volition. If I hadn't wanted to leave, he had no authority. He's not a police officer to get me to leave. I mean, he's acting as a policeman. He's supposed to be retired. If he'd have put one hand on me, we'd have had a little different story there. All he's doing is insulting me. But you focus on what he says to me. Would you not be mad if somebody like that thug walks up to you that spread conspiracies and says that to you? Focus on that and let him play what happened before that. Let him show him getting up from his hind end and walking up there and accosting a political candidate while he's his time to speak. I mean, really? And they're focused on that. I'm gonna put it on there. The only part they're showing, they won't show what's before because it's pretty disgusting. Those people in that forum, for the most part, not all of them, are pretty disgusting people. And invite me to come. I drove for an hour, over an hour to get there, away from Michelle who's sick, to talk to these people about the truth. And I get accosted by a man running for deputy sheriff campaigning against me. And the police called on me when I did nothing wrong. Wow, at least the Oneida Police Department handled it professionally. But so that we'll put that on Facebook. And what we're talking about today, and I can come back to Scott County. I can't get people to come with me. I don't ask them to, because of how dangerous it is to campaign. I mean, I can't disagree with the government. Look what's going on. I can't disagree with the government. Is that politics or is that control? Is that a rigged system? Even if you don't believe what I'm saying, even if you think I'm a dirtbag, even if you think all these things about me, I still have a right to ask somebody else. That's not by your permission. You don't have to listen to me, that's fine. Walk your little way, turn your little hind end around and go, or stay where you're at, I'll go around you. What you don't have a right to do, under the United States Constitution, is prevent me from campaigning. You're not on the ballot, I am. I earned that. And if you stop me, I'll just say this. Some bad shit could happen to you, because I will defend my life against serious bodily injury and or death. Now that's your warning, out of fairness. Because when you wake up next week, you won't know what hit you. Because you're not gonna hurt me. All the threats, intimidation. Y'all don't understand, that's the life I've lived. You haven't. So you better get in your damn place. We'll go back to Scott County. We might make that ground zero. Even if you don't like me, the Constitution says I have freedom of speech on public sidewalks. I got freedom to campaign, to knock on people's door and ask them for a flyer. If they ask me to leave, I got to leave, and I do. I'm not violent. Some of you all in Scott County, and people in Scott County, the good people in Scott County, these are the people that are going to make it okay to put a landfill there, because they're going along with the establishment that doesn't live anywhere near Scott County. And as long as these dump site companies and nuclear waste companies give them enough money, they live all across the state, they'll take it and put a nuclear waste dump in your county. You don't have enough votes to stop it. So if you want a candidate that will fight for you, thank you for the contribution. So if you want a candidate that will fight for you against the establishment, now you think I'm against the establishment, and they act like that's a rogue opinion. I'm a nut job for not liking the establishment. That's a popular opinion. I'm a nut job for not agreeing with the news. Most people don't. I'm the mainstream. I'm the civil, smart, intelligent one. They're all going along because the government lifts these people up and gets them elected. And I'm not running on their coattails. I don't need them. So, pursuits kill innocent you. They kill innocent you. And they clear people that are perpetrators of these pursuits and incriminate innocent people. So you look at a officer that made a mistake, and probably a good man, Danny Wagner, and he was involved in a pursuit, one of the first ones that I experienced in law enforcement, that I wasn't personally in. I was trying to get there to back up the other officers here in Knoxville, Tennessee, when I worked at the University of Tennessee Police Department. I've been around a while. Been around a lot longer than that dirtbag wannabe sheriff. And in the 90s, early 90s, got a call on the radio from Vince Knipe. He's now deceased, very good officer. He was checking around. He was checking around the church behind Woodlawn Apartments up there, just where we walked down, because people would park behind that church, walk across the woods a little ways to the apartments and steal people's cars and steal stuff out of the cars. So he checked behind the apartment buildings to see if there's any cars parked back there. He drove back there on Woodlawn, and there was a car parked back there. He pulls up on it, and the car takes off at a high rate of speed, flies out of the parking lot. Vince Knipe gets in pursuit of it. I'm over on the ag farm, where later on, there was a murder over there on the ag farm involving a woman that's on death row now. Now, I was off that night. A police officer literally drove through the crime scene, drove through blood, thought it was transmission fluid. So Vince Knipe got in pursuit of the car on Chapman Highway, coming down this road here. This is Henley Street here, but right down here. The car was all over the road, hitting cars parked on Chapman Highway and the Blunt Road right down here. And turned off and went around the fire department where they were doing construction on the road, and there was a big hole in the road you couldn't get through right beside the fire department there in South Knoxville. And a Knoxville police officer heard the call and got in pursuit with Vince Knipe, UT police, on Blunt Avenue, and they chased the car all the way to South Knoxville at the fire department over there in South Knoxville. I think it's Sevier Avenue, but they were fixing the road at that time. The road went out. So the car had a driver, a man, and another lady. Excuse me, the lady was driving. And I got the call over here on, well, there's a bike lane there, and that guy goes right down the road where he can run over people. That's how dangerous these bikes are, these electric vehicles. See, there's a bike lane right there, and they still about come as close to you as they can get. And they claim I'm dangerous when they make the rules. So I heard the call asking for assistance. So I was on the ag farm, and trying to get over here to help them in the pursuit. I'm glad I didn't. Things didn't end up well. So Mr. Wagner was in pursuit as a Knoxville officer, and the woman got out and took off running when the road ended. And Mr. Wagner was chasing her on foot, and he had his gun in his hand, and he reached for her, and Vince Knipe was there too. They're trying to catch this woman that wrecked out in the pursuit where the road ends. She got out of the car, took off running. They jumped out of their patrol cars, took off chasing them. And Vince Knipe told me, I heard it from him myself personally. And Danny Wagner reached out to catch the woman right up close to her. He had his gun in his hand, and he accidentally pulled the trigger, and it shot her right in the head. She fell over dead. An obvious mistake. Now, whether or not he should prosecute, I don't think so. But back at work. He's probably retired now. That's one of their pursuits. I was involved in that one. The first pursuit I was in, they act like that I wouldn't get out of cars and pursue people on foot. These same people, I was there longer than they were. In the early 90s, I seen a car at the off-campus UT housing while I was on patrol on Southern Avenue. And the car was in a parking space. And then I drove by, and it pulled out at a high rate of speed when I thought it's probably seen a patrol car. Why was it pulling out so fast? So it caught my eye. It was one of those Datsun's B210s, and I was in a Ford Crown Victoria, one of the old square boxy ones. And when he pulled out, he caught my eye because he took off so fast. People don't normally do that. And then he ran the stop sign on the way out of the parking lot, so that's my reason to stop him. He ran a stop sign. So I got behind him, tried to stop him. He wouldn't stop. So I called in the pursuit, and I know the pursuit policy. And I'm going to tell you what the highway patrol was. So he went a high rate of speed down Southern Avenue, turned right on Concord. He went behind the railroad tracks on Concord and wrecked out in a bank. Jumped out of his car, climbed over a fence there. So I jumped out of my patrol car. I was in my 20s then. Jumped out of my patrol car, climbed over the fence, and I lost sight of him. And I started yelling. Almost 300 people like, share, comment, and contribute if you can. So I started yelling. stop or I'll shoot, stop, I'm gonna shoot, because I had lost sight of him. There was houses, and he went behind one of the houses out of my sight. So I started yelling, stop or I'll shoot, stop or I'll shoot. I swear I'm gonna shoot. It was bluffing. And next thing I know, I go around the corner of the house and he's got his hands up, giving up because he's afraid I'm gonna shoot him. And I wouldn't have done that, I'm bluffing. So cuffed him, got him under arrest, and he was burglarizing the apartment complex over there. And it was a stolen car. So I'll get out and chase people. Caught him before. Long before they ever put a uniform on, I was running people down in my 20s. I came up on a wreck on the interstate in 2010, right before they alleged that I drove past a burning car and ignored it. I came up on a wreck on I-40. Just right down here, just a few miles from here. A lot of Knoxville police officers know this too. They help. A Jeep had went the wrong way on the interstate and slammed into a tractor trailer. Now when I pulled up on it, the Jeep had ignited and it was catching on fire. So I jumped out of my patrol car, and it was a drunk guy, passed out in the driver's seat, and grabbed hold of him. A couple of KPD officers helped me, and the car was on fire. The Jeep was on fire. We drug him out of the Jeep because he wasn't pinned in it. So I saved his life. He was drunk. I saved a drunk man's life from a burning car. Now, they won't show you that video. I know they have it. A lieutenant that I worked for seen the video, and it was under Lieutenant Johnny McDonald and Sergeant Bobby Clevenger. I showed him the video of that incident. That night, I sat in my patrol car and watched it after the fact, where I saved somebody from a burning Jeep that was drunk that they're saying I won't do. And KPD officers know that. I mean, they seen me do it. They helped me. I grabbed him first, and they came along. I had already gotten him out, and they helped me get him away from a burning Jeep. He was drunk. Just right down here, right before you get to the 387. And there's a video of that. Why won't they show that? Because that would exonerate me and show that I'm not afraid. When it's possible, I get people out of burning cars. I did it before. Ran them down when they stole cars, I was doing that years before I got on with a corrupt agency, the Tennessee Highway Rigging Patrol. So, call Sergeant Bobby Clevenger, retired as lieutenant. Ask him, did Charles Van Morgan, did you sit in the car and ask him? I ought to give you his number. About that video, that where he showed you where he got out and rescued somebody from a burning Jeep that was drunk. Oh, they won't show you that because they're trying to incriminate me. They hold evidence. Because that would have made me look good when they're saying that a car that I couldn't have seen in the dark in a live pursuit, that I seen that when they lie on reports and handpick a judge. Because they rig things. They lie to you. The government is dirty. They clear who they want to and incriminate people, other people that they don't. If you hear stuff, it's a lie. The news media put out the other day in that pursuit here in Knox County where 3 people died, the Highway Patrol wouldn't release the pursuit policy 411. Okay. That's real good. That's real good. They showed that for about 20 seconds. And then this morning, a little dribble of the truth, they talk about how wonderful a pursuit turned out with the Highway Patrol, clearing herself. Well, we showed a little bit of the truth. We'll brag on the Highway Patrol. Now, that's what they do. A little dribble of truth. Let's blow it up like a fire hose. The Highway Patrol pursuits are deadly. They kill you. They cover the wrong up. It's dangerous for you to drive down the road with the government in office now that you have. Keep voting that way, Scott County. You're going to get a nuclear waste dump, and the people that put it there don't live near there, and they're going to get campaign money from people that pay them, because they're going to get a lot of money from dumping nuclear waste all over the United States in your county, and get on Facebook and mock me. You're going to be the ones that's going to have to move out of Scott County, because nuclear waste they're not only indoctrinating your children, they're going to have them grow an extra arm. Stupid asses. That's what you're going to get. They lie. I'm telling you the truth. I know these people. It's not conspiracy, seen it with my own eyes. I don't have to ask AI. So, the CERT team that investigates this stuff, they call it the Critical Incident Response Team. It's the con intended to rig the truth team. That's what it is. They lie on reports. So, they lie about stuff. They lie about pursuits. And I can't even, telling the truth, can't even go, and I don't ask volunteers to go with me. Thought about asking volunteers to go with me up to the forum up in Scott County, because I know you start telling the truth and people in the government, then their proxies get angry. They want public schools mandatory. No other choice. Where it's popular, I'm mainstream. That parents have a choice in how you raise their children. That's not optional. That should be demanded by parents. And a school teacher saying, hell no, we're the most Christian environment in the world. No, they're not. No, they're not. It's a lie. I pointed that out. That's not true. So I could take people with me, but I don't want them to get arrested. Don't want them to get assaulted by people that interrupting us. Well, they're framing it that we're interrupting them. I had permission to be there. I didn't cost anybody. That dumb deputy sheriff accosted me. So, it's dangerous for political candidates. By other candidates, if you're me, one, an independent sheriff's candidate in Scott County. Congratulations, Scott County, you got a winner. He got $40-something thousand off taxpayers in a lawsuit. And he got a conspiracy. And he insulted a political candidate trying to stand up for you. You get that one time. So, I could ask people to go with me, but I'm not going to do that. Because, as it stands right now, and let me challenge the Knoxville City Police Chief. I'm not against him. I've heard some bad things about him from officers that work under him. I'm not going to say who they are because they'll get fired. And he's got time to straighten out his ways. I'm not against him. I know he listens to me. They listen to try to find me to say something violent. And what I say is vote. Did I say anything violent up there at that hearing? No, or was I being accosted and insulted to my face by a thug? I would encourage him. I can't go anywhere. There's certain places in Tennessee I cannot campaign because people accost me, not because I'm threatening to them, because I say the government is crooked. Parents ought to have a choice to send your kids to public schools or to send your kids to private schools. That's all that was about. The lady disagreed with me, and not only disagreed, which she's got a right to do that, I shook her hand before that. She insulted me. Let them show that. They won't show you that part. And then a man stood up in a violent, threatening manner, telling me to sit down and shut up. No, I was invited to be there. And then they act like I'm the bad guy. It's been done before. I planned for that. Stupid asses. Join, vote. Subscribe to the channel. Like and share. Call your friends. This is a movement that's going places. And this is not a fly-by-night. You know, I didn't just come here today and got news press. I've been trying to get news press all over the damn state. Watch some of my videos. It's a social movement tactic. Study this stuff. Excuse me, dumbass sheriff's deputy, independent candidate, conspiracy theorist. I've got an advanced level degree in sociology. A large part of that study is studying social movements, you know. I mean, so I'm not a novice at this, boy. I don't have to hire an attorney. What an idiot that guy is, man. I mean, he's lucky I didn't punch him in the face. You get one free one. I'm not saying I'll punch him in the face. I'm just saying he shouldn't do that again. Insult me, take up my time, campaign against me. That's what he was doing, campaigning against me in a public forum. I want your vote. I'm going to show you I'm for the government. Let me get this. I mean, really. Or somebody hates me enough to put sawdust down here where I speak. So I'm very unpopular among the road people. So I can't get people to go with me. And I challenge the Knoxville City Police Chief. I deserve protection on the ballot. I'm following the rules, but that ain't enough, is it? Oh no, we got to find something on you, rig it. I know how you do. I know. I got it. I got a JD. You don't. And I'm asking you to be honest. I deserve, and my family, my little children, deserve as much protection as Miss Blackburn, you, and the wilted rose, and the other one that says he's for liberty that stomps all over it. I want you to believe only the liberty that he believes in. I deserve as much protection as somebody with a fat billfold, even the Haslam's here. I deserve as much protection as Mr. Haslam got, but will I get it? Under liberty and justice with a blindfold, I'd get it, but I don't get it. I challenge you. When you get a call on me, protect me from the damn caller unless you find out I'm committing a crime, which is not done. That's not done. I have to protect myself because I'm running against the government. The First Amendment wasn't written to protect speech that the government agrees with. They don't want to protect it. They will facilitate it. The First Amendment, and police officers are sworn to uphold, is to protect speech that they don't agree with. Imagine that. A cop's supposed to protect me when I'm saying stuff against them. Under the Constitution, they are. If somebody threatens me lawlessly, which they did at that hearing. But you won't see that happen. That's why independent candidates like me that stand up for the truth, a lot of times don't campaign, don't get elected. That's why we're in this hellhole. This lying, dirty hellhole of people like Sharma Tissue Allen that are covering up the truth. 4 months hoping it'll go away while they knock on your door and say your daughter was killed. It wasn't our fault. The officer's cleared. Bullshit. You believe that? I know how they do. I've met her. I'm not talking about conspiracy. I've been to Columbine. I've been to that damn office where she sits. She's a dirty, disgusting liar. Sharma Tissue Allen. That right for me to say that is protected under the law. I'll say it loud. Sharma Tissue Allen's a creep, thug, crook that protects murders and will put you in jail. I've met her. She's got a foul mouth. She flies up and down the road at 100 miles an hour. I got her right to say that's supposed to be protected. I can back it up. I can prove it. You ought to hear what she says in that back hallway. Try to legally, lawfully arrest one of her lawyers? Oh my goodness. Hell will hit the fan. The Constitution doesn't exist in the state of Tennessee right now. One of them's running on that while he's running on the party that stomps all over it in Tennessee. Even the President of the United States has said, even the President of the United States, for some reason, has never yet, until after the primary, endorsed a Republican candidate for governor. I wonder why that is. Maybe you don't think any of them's any damn good. Have you ever thought about that? So, like, share, comment, subscribe. So I challenged the chief of police here in Knoxville, Chief Noel, to faithfully, you promised, execute the law and protect candidates that you don't like. How about that? Imagine that. Wouldn't that be the thing you're supposed to do that you promised to? I'm not in the government. I ain't promised nothing. I'm a politician. I'm running for government office. This is not a courtroom. It's wide open as long as I don't threaten imminent lawless action, and I have never, nor will never. I'm asking people to go vote. You ought to be happy with me. I'm not one of the Black Lives Matter people that believes in violence, wants to disrupt your meetings. I didn't disrupt a meeting like that lady that was convicted that got more votes than me. I was invited to the meeting. It was my time to speak. I was interrupted by lawless action by a sheriff's candidate. Imagine that. It's so lawless in this state. I'm telling you, there is no rule of law. It's the rule of y'all, and it's not the mass populous Tennesseans. It's them. They're lawless. The ones who are running the law. Imagine that. You ever heard a candidate say that? People running the law are lawless. So I would ask the chief of police to enforce the law fairly. And he may, I don't know. I ain't got nothing against him. I hope he does. He thinks everything's funny, goes on television, he's real happy about stuff. If I was a chief of police in Knoxville, my heart would be heavy for the lives lost. I would be concerned about crime and crime prevention, and everything wouldn't be funny to me. So I don't know. I know I've heard a lot of bad things from officers, but he's redeemable. Protect everybody, Chief Noel, or even the chief in Nashville or Memphis. Protect candidates you don't like. It's the Constitution, stupid. 4 soldiers. 4 soldiers. And we're going to read over these. Are dead just in the past few days, protecting the Constitution of America, the freedom of all Americans. Dead. They shed their lives, Chief, so that I can speak against you. And I'm not speaking against you, but if I wanted to, and you're supposed to protect me while I'm doing it, as long as I don't threaten enemy's lawless action or say anything that's defamation. I know the rules, I don't cross them. Do you? And let's look at this. It's important to me. We're in a war in America, and people worried about paying a nickel or dime more on the gas prices. I mean, and that's a concern, I get that. But it's because of Haslam, his gas tax. PFC Isabella Gonzalez, 19, enlisted in the Army last year and served as an air and missile defense crew member, maintaining and using the system, which have been key to protecting U.S. bases from Iran attacks, according to the Army. So let's show you a picture of this soldier right here that protected my right to campaign, protected the Constitution. That's deceased now, Isabella Gonzalez. That's my concern. That ought to be every concern of every law enforcement officer in the state of Tennessee when I say something that they don't like. She died for the Constitution. Part of that entails the First Amendment and my right to say that. Whether you like it or whether you don't. I don't have to say stuff you like. I'm not in the government. You are. Act like it. They don't. They're not going to. Isabella Gonzalez, thank you for your sacrifice to this great nation and gives me the right to stand out here on the sidewalk and tell the truth. It's sad that people in government power are stomping all over you like the wannabe sheriff, stomping all over your blood, insulting me for standing up against them. Thank you for what you tried to give me, PFC Gonzalez. How about that? Stomping on soldiers' blood's what they're doing. I'm not doing anything illegal. They are. She was killed Friday during an Iranian missile and drone attack at Mawafat Salty Air Base in Jordan. She was assigned to the 1st Battalion, 57th Air Force Division, Artillery Regiment, 10th Army Air and Missile Defense Command. I don't think she's even in the ground yet. We are profoundly saddened by the loss of PFC Isabella Gonzalez. Brigadier General Glenn Hank, commander of the 10th Army Air and Missile Defense Commander, said in a statement, and I am too, all Americans should be. She gave the ultimate sacrifice for her country and will always be remembered as a hero. Our hearts go out to her family, friends, and teammates. Our immediate priority is ensuring they have the resources and support they need to process this grief together. A real soldier that died for a cause. Part of that is my right to campaign for governor, like it or not. They won't give me that right. They're stepping on their blood. They're stepping on their blood. They're stepping on their blood. I've got a right to disagree with the government in this country. They're stepping on their blood. They won't give me that right. Can't even go to a hearing where I'm invited without being accosted and insulted. Can't bring people with me all across this state. That's the level that the government has gone to shut up dissent. It's crooked as hell because they don't agree with what I'm saying. They don't have to. They don't have to. She fought so I wouldn't. Are you going to make her blood in vain? I'm not a Black Lives Matter person. I'm not a neo-Nazi. I'm mainstream. I'm mainstream. I believe what you do. They don't. They don't. They're going to make a personality arrest. Oh, where's that under the law? They'll make one. First Lieutenant Tyler Feehan. Here he is. He died protecting my rights with profound gratefulness to this man. I can stand here today and speak the truth against power because of what he did for me. And I thank him. First Lieutenant Tyler Feehan. First Lieutenant Feehan of Ewa Beach, Hawaii, died from wounds suffered during the Friday attack on the Jordan Air Base the following day. He enlisted in the Army in 2019 as a combat engineer with the Hawaii Army National Guard, according to the service. He later commissioned from Brigham Young University as an active duty Air Force artillery officer. In 2024, he was assigned to the 2nd Battalion, 55th Air Defense Artillery Regiment, 32nd Army Air and Missile Defense. Commander at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I know another soldier that went to Fort Bragg, doesn't even have the military honors that he deserved. These soldiers gave us the privilege to do what many Americans and Tennesseans don't do today, is go vote. Without their bloodshed, you wouldn't be able to go vote. Take that privilege and go vote today. Remember, their death gave you something free you don't have to pay for. Voting is not free. These people paid for free and fair elections. Go show up and vote today. Vote every one of these judges in the state of Tennessee out. I sent a message. They're crooked, dirty judges. They walk on the blood of these soldiers. The Tennessee dirty judiciary, you want to hear this anywhere else, subscribe, stomps on the blood of these soldiers. The Tennessee judiciary, including your Supreme Court, doesn't believe in the Constitution. They legalize it. Your courts in Tennessee have said, I have no First Amendment rights. These soldiers' blood is in vain. If you take that, if you believe in the Constitution, believe in these soldiers' sacrifice, go vote these dirty judges out of office. Don't retain them. There's a retention election going on. Don't retain them. They're hand-picked judges. Check out my Facebook page. All across the state of Tennessee. I'm allowed to say that because of what they said, what they did, give me the right to stand up against the non-elected judiciary. They don't even have any competition. Vote them out. Let's send a message. Voters of Tennessee Enraged, send them a message. Get rid of as many of them as we can. Don't retain them. Don't retain them. Show up and vote. Unheard of movement. He was assigned to the 2nd Battalion, 55th Air Defense Artillery Regiment, Fort Bragg. Lieutenant Feehan, unwavering dedication to our mission, our values, and the air defense he led will leave an enduring legacy. Brigadier General John Dalber, who leads the 32nd Air and Missile Defense Command, said in a statement, "We stand fully committed to supporting his family and his loved ones through this incredibly difficult time, and we will never forget the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our nation." Feehan will be postmortemly promoted to captain according to the service. And Sergeant Angel Romsed, 28, killed protecting my rights to campaign against the government. The Defense Department on Tuesday said Armored Sergeant Angel S. Rampersad, 28, of Ozone Park, New York, is believed to have been killed in action during Friday's Iranian strike on a U.S. base in Jordan. She had previously been listed as missing. The termination followed the recovery of remains from the attack. Rampersad, who enlisted in March 2019, was assigned to the 1st Battalion, 57th Air Base Artillery Regiment. the 10th Army Air and Missile Defense Command in Ansbach, Germany, according to the U.S. Army. She served as a signal operations support specialist, operating and maintaining radio and other communications. ABC News has reported, they said, we extend our deepest and most heartfelt condolences to our family and all those who are navigating this unmanageable loss. Hancock said in a statement, the 10th Army Air and Missile Defense Command is grieving, and we will continue to support one another as we process this tragedy. New York Governor Kathy Hochul, in a statement, mourned the loss, describing Grand Rapids as one of our own. My heart is with her family, loved ones, and soldiers who stood beside her as they grieve this unmanageable loss, Hilcher said. Sergeant Ramper said she lived a life of courage and selflessness. May we honor her memory, remember her sacrifice, and keep all who loved her in our prayers. Died for our Constitution, our way of life that these people in government power trample all over on a daily basis. Come on, let me say it. Sergeant Michael Emmanuel Swinton, killed fighting for my rights. For my right to campaign. Sergeant Michael Emmanuel Swinton, Army Sergeant Michael Swinton, 30, of Fayetteville, North Carolina, died Sunday following the controlled donation of a downed Iranian attack drone at Ilber Air Base in Iraq, the Army said. Michael was an amazing man, very amazing. His wife, Maya Gonzalez Swinton, told ABC News in a statement, he was an amazing father, an amazing husband. He cared so much for his soldiers too. Swinton was assigned to the D Battery 2nd Battalion, 55th Air Defense Artillery Regiment, 108th Air Force Artillery Brigade at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. He served as an early warning systems operator responsible for detecting, tracking, and reporting incoming enemy threats to help protect us forces from missile and drone attacks. It remains unclear what led to Swinton's death. The use of controlled donations is a common practice among trained explosive ordnance disposal teams to neutralize hazardous devices. These procedures were refined over 2 decades of combat in Iraq and Afghanistan, where roadside bombs were a persistent threat to coalition forces. And I know of one soldier, Patrick Fitzgibbon, also killed over there in 2008. Roadside bombs were a persistent threat to coalition forces. He was blown into several pieces. I had the honor in the highway patrol of escorting his body from the airport to his funeral, where they couldn't even have an open casket to the graveside. While the disposal of munitions is inherently dangerous, one U.S. official explained fatal instances are relatively rare. The Defense Department said an investigation is ongoing. The Army and Swinton will be postmaster promoted to sergeant. So these are the people that fought for my right to disagree with the government. And here is my little political campaign. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. I think I'm ashamed of defending myself. Charles Van Morgan, vote governor 2026, and join vote. Political pressure on the rogue establishment to treat you mass populace of Tennesseans right. People over politics, accountability, not excuses. Tennessee values first, less power to the elite, more power to you. Enough is enough. It's time for Tennessee to come first. Paid for by Michelle Morgan. That's my political advertisement. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for the contribution. And thank you to our subscribers. So we're going to talk to you about, as we've honored the soldiers, 4 of them dead, for my right to stand here and disagree with the government, about their pursuits and how they clear the guilty and incriminate the innocent. I know how they did that. They did that to me. So, this is John Pettigo. Now, he was involved in a deadly pursuit in Blount County in 2012. He was also involved in a cover-up of a murder in Blount County. In order to give him credibility, they gave him an award, a lifesaver award. So even though he corruptly worked a wreck that was a murder and was involved in a pursuit that did not follow the law, that resulted in a 16-year-old being killed, they cleared him. The colonel of the Highway Patrol rigged that. He's now deceased. Now, bad things happen to bad people on the planet, mysteriously. I didn't kill him. You know, a lot of these people, you can just wait them out. God takes care of people sometimes on the planet. So, Mr. John Pettigo, I went to the academy with him. I know him. I listened to the radio, worked alongside him. He would be in pursuit of people and not call it in. He got in trouble being in pursuit of somebody. He would allege, I'm trying to catch up to them, when you could hear his siren and blue lights on or not on, when he was clearly in pursuit. Because when you're in pursuit of a violator, suspected violator of the law, their pursuit policy 411, you're to turn on all your emergency equipment, blue lights and siren, and have your headlights on. That gives you the legal right to drive safely but over the speed limit, or to park irrespective of laws. So if you got on all your lights, you can go faster than the speed limit if you got on your siren and all your lights. John Pettigo went in pursuit of a car in Blount County in 2012. That's covered up because they cleared him. They clear the guilty. Clear the guilty. Criminate the innocent. Now, he got in pursuit of a violator because he made a maneuver to apprehend him. He turned around. He was going the opposite direction. Turned around, made a U-turn in the middle of the road. Did not turn on his emergency equipment or call in a pursuit on the radio, which he's required to. The car took off because I'm sure it's seen the trooper car turn around. I mean, people see you going the opposite direction, and then they see you turn around, they speed up. Some people do. And you're supposed to turn on your emergency equipment to let people know that there's somebody driving fast the road, to warn people, because they're driving on the road. They don't know that you're in pursuit of somebody. They might go over the wrong side of the road. So he didn't follow any of the law, turned around, and I know how they cover it. They say he wasn't in pursuit. Yeah, he was. He turned around on the car. He was trying to apprehend the violator. He clocked him speeding. That's what he said. He turned around and made a maneuver to pursue the person. So when you make a maneuver to go after him, you are in pursuit. Turn on all your equipment. So you look at pursuit that I was in, that they say I did wrong, all over the internet. In 2011, that they released surreptitiously, trying to incriminate me. You look at the pursuit. Before I even turned around, you look at the car light up, blue light, siren. That's before I even turned around. That's the way you're supposed to do it. That's not a choice. That's the law. When you're in pursuit of a violator or suspected violator of the law, actual suspected, you turn on all your emergency equipment when you go in pursuit, which means before you make the turn, because when you make the turn to go after them, you're in pursuit of them. That's what you're doing. You're going after them. He didn't do that. That is for the purpose of warning people that there's someone dangerous. Obviously, they're dangerous. You wouldn't have turned on your equipment to go after them. He turned around on them. Either you had him on when he turned around and turned him off, or didn't turn him on at all. Either way, he didn't have on his emergency equipment. The person he was pursuing went over the WO lines and slammed into an innocent 16-year-old. Killed her. The driver of the car he was pursuing is dead, and the 16-year-old was killed, broad daylight, dead. Now, the Highway Patrol blamed it on the violator, which is true. He was wrong, but the trooper is the one that was chasing him, got him to speed up, most likely, and go over the WO line. Had he been following the law like me, with blue lights and siren before he turned around, or as he was turning around, that girl that he killed, that young lady, child, would have heard a siren or seen blue lights, and she would have been warned something's wrong. Instead, the trooper gave her no warning that he was chasing a dangerous violator. Bam, dead. Had he had on his emergency equipment like the law mandates, she might still be alive today. She would have heard woo and watched and got over. She was driving on, had no warning. He gave her no warning like the law commands. Got in pursuit of somebody without his emergency equipment. Now they rigged that and cleared him. They rigged it and cleared him. The colonel of the Highway Patrol said, in my pursuit involving where I followed the law, that he came down to the scene personally to view the incident because of the magnitude of the incident. One drunk driver dead because they killed theirself, with their dad going into schools, indoctrinating them that the trooper did wrong, and I didn't do anything wrong. That's not true. He's lying. And admits that his son did wrong. Yeah, that's the only one did something wrong, and then you're doing wrong by lying to the little children in schools. And the public school system's allowing somebody to go in and run down an innocent trooper. So the colonel of the Highway Patrol said that he went to the scene of the incident involving me, covers it up because of the magnitude of the incident. One drunk driver dead in a pursuit is common all across the state. Happens all the time, routinely. Here's a trooper right here. See how they like me. Happens routinely all the time. Let's see if he'll say anything to me. Let's wave at him. Happens routinely all the time. Yeah, there's the ones that'll rig wrecks. They will rig that car. You see that car? They're riggers. I didn't say the N-word. I said rigger, rig. They rig wrecks against you. Even if you're right, they rigged one against me. Even if you're right. So, the colonel said he came down because of magnitude of the incident. That wasn't the magnitude of the incident. People get killed in drunk driving wrecks, running from police, single car wrecks all the time. What's a magnitude incident? So he came down to personally drive the scene, he says, because of magnitude. He came down to incriminate me wrongfully and lie. What they don't tell you is his investigation team cleared me. After I interviewed, they put me back to work. After his crony, that happens to be a woman, just saying, wanted me fired after she got over my shift surreptitiously, then she reinitiated something I was already cleared over. But he came down there because of the magnitude of the incident. One drunk driver died in a wreck involving a pursuit. Happens all the time. A huge amount. They kill themselves without law enforcement there. When law enforcement trying to catch them, save them from themselves, they get killed. That's not a magnitude incident, but he lied to cover it up. He drove down there to try to incriminate me because the CERT team and the investigation unit cleared me originally. I was already back on the road making more drunk driving arrests, protecting you. So this wreck happened a few months later involving John Pettigo, who didn't follow policy. Even the captain, fighter of the Highway Patrol admits that she didn't know if he had on his emergency equipment or not, but he's not in pursuit, Lying, they lie, they rigged stuff. clear who they want to, involving killings that they're partly responsible for or completely responsible for, and incriminate innocent people who have saved people and deserve a life-saving award. So Mr. John Inept Pettigo was involved in a pursuit where he didn't follow the law involving an innocent person death that he could have helped prevent, possibly, if it had on his emergency equipment. Happened a few months after the pursuit I was in. The colonel had to show up on my pursuit because it was magnitude. One person dead. This one, a 16-year-old dead. He didn't show up at that scene. So it wasn't the magnitude of the incident. So the colonel, who's dead now, lied. He lied. The colonel lies. You think Colonel Mike Perry will lie? I guarantee he'll lie. They'll lie to protect the guilty, inept guilty, and incriminate the innocent that does more in 1 week than he did in a year, and worked Rex the right way. So he, Mr. Inept John Pettigo, who he deserves this, told me I was gouging people by getting drunk drivers off the road. Oh, I'm gouging you now, boy. I'm out here on the side. What were you gonna do, put dust down? What an inept trooper. And they bolster his credibility by giving him an award. You see these troopers getting awards? What'd they do? Look into what they've done. They're trying to bolster their credibility, saying, I know what they did, don't worry about that. They're a hero, they saved somebody. Bullshit. He worked a wreck in Blount County. And they teach you this in the academy. I don't know where he was at. Maybe out drinking with the senator that day. Not learning the class, I don't know. I'm just saying. But they teach you in the academy, in wreck investigation, basic stuff, not complicated, 101. And I get this, see if a regular civilian can understand this. Probably he couldn't. Sometimes somebody will murder somebody. You believe that happens? Murder them. And try to cover it up. He doesn't know that. And what they do, and they teach you this in 101, this is basic, not high science. And they'll beat the hell out of them, shoot them in the head, whatever. And then they will put them in a car and they will take it to a location, put them in the driver's seat, put it in drive and push it off a cliff. Up a murder. So sometimes wrecks are subterfuge for a murder. They're trying to cover it. It wasn't a murder. They had a wreck and it killed them. They teach you to be on the lookout for that. In basic traffic crash accident investigation. This damn genius who doesn't follow the rules of the road is maybe still on the road endangering your life without giving you due warning, or your family. Don't worry, he's covered. He won't never get in trouble for it. They cover for him. You won't see the colonel coming down investigating mass fatalities. Now there's the trooper behind him without his lights or blue lights on, because the colonel comes down for magnitude incidences. A single drunk driver wreck where he wants to hang out the trooper that's acting appropriately. John Inept Pettigo worked this wreck where obvious murder, the woman beat all to hell with a baseball bat, placed in a car after the fact, pushed off in a car off a cliff to cover up a wreck. So he works it as a wreck. With people on the scene saying, that don't look like a wreck to me, her head's pretty bad messed up, I don't think that would have happened in that kind of wreck where the car's not, flipped over in bad shape. Obviously, a murder that they teach you to be on the lookout for, that he works it as a wreck. That's important because they notified his family she was involved in a wreck. Her family found the baseball bat that had her parent, somebody that knew her, had murdered her. That gave them a head start to get away with the crime. It's never been solved to this day. Her family even said the trooper made a mistake. The highway patrol messed up. He didn't pay attention to training. Never did. Didn't in that. Didn't in the pursuit. And the colonel lies for them. They lie under oath. The colonel said under oath, I showed up at Charles Van Morgan's wreck because of the magnitude of the incident. One drunk driver in a pursuit. That's not a magnitude incident. One drunk driver dead in a pursuit. That happens all the time. They don't show up for that. Got 900 troopers, don't show up for that. They show up to incriminate somebody that's innocent. That's what Matt Perry will do to you. He says there's no false drunk driving arrests all across the state, 2,500, zero alcohol level. I mean, will they lie? Those soldiers fought for my ability to tell you the truth. They lie on you. They lie in Scott County. They shut down opposition. Law enforcement will arrest opposition. So, what that done, he worked his wreck, turns it in. There's a crime scene there. He works as a wreck. He works as a wreck. They take the crime scene tape and walk away. Any evidence, had he worked it appropriately, marked off the scene like your train where a murder takes place, that's subterfuge for a wreck, where somebody's trying to cover up a murder with a wreck, you look into it. This may not be a wreck. You mark off the scene, tape it off, preserve evidence, and call in homicide investigators. And if it's later determined to be a wreck, then you work it as a wreck. But when there's suspicion, you tape off the scene and investigate. What he did is turn it in as a wreck. And what happens is, the crime scene is not protected. He turns it in, weather, rain, cars, any evidence of the person that was there, and the windows rolled down where he stood outside the vehicle and put it in drive and pushed her down off the bank, covering up a murder, is not protected. Any cigarettes he smoked, they're gone. So the crime scene's not protected. He worked it as a wreck, giving the murderer a chance to escape justice because of somebody that had a hand in killing a 16-year-old, flubbed up a murder that was subterfuge for that was a murder subterfuge as a wreck. That the crime scene was not protected because of him. And they give him a life-saving award. Now this is one thing. Now they've listed this in the paper as saying that my termination was upheld on appeal from the Highway Patrol. They didn't even terminate that dirtbag. They should have terminated him. 16-year-old, your kids ain't safe with these people out here that are doing this to you. It's an emergency situation. Vote these people out. The judiciary approves what the governor says. The governor approves what the colonel says, and on down, who shows up at wrecks to cover. And now he's dead, so they don't cover very well, do they? Like, share, and comment. So, talking about evidence. So I did what I was supposed to in the pursuit I was in. The colonel shows up to con you, to try to convict an innocent person. Now, they would have charged me with a crime. Had they charged me with a crime, I'd have been able to talk to you all, a jury, and say, hey, wait a minute, sitting there lying under oath, look at this, what they're saying, and what I can prove is not true. And they would have made them look bad. They said not guilty, so they charge you with a civil offense. And then they have their hand-picked judges that find you guilty and make up evidence. Isn't that wonderful? That's why I sent a message. People don't think I know what I'm doing. I sent a message. After I got all this public attention, that's bad, right? People are looking at my page like wildfire. Keep it up. To not retain these dirty judges. You want to be convicted of a wreck you didn't cause? You want to be convicted of a vehicle homicide because it's one of the governor's boys and everybody believes him, he claims to be a Christian? That's what they'll do. I'm telling you, they'll do that. I got a right to say that under the Constitution. I'm proving it. So, in my pursuit, one of their hand-picked judges, I added evidence. And look at this evidence right here. I didn't do anything wrong. They did. And they're letting people go in your public schools and indoctrinate you against me. They tell your kids whatever they want to in their schools. Parents, you have no control, and they get mad at me for me saying, if you want to let them indoctrinate your children, you go right ahead, you have that right, I'll give it to you. That's under the Constitution. You can be foolish under our Constitution. You can believe whatever you want to do. What you cannot do, they're smiling anyway, what you cannot do is you cannot stop other people from believing and saying what they want to say against the government, which is what they do. So here's a brief by Attorney Martin to the administrative law judge. In my case, this is a lie. This is proof that they lie. This is just one small thing. On the video, grieving after his dispatch is heard to say that's going to be the vehicle before he got to the scene of the Anito incident. Shelton Trooper, line 37, lines 24 and 25, and page 38, lines 1 through 8, exhibit 6001. They quote me as saying something that I did not say. Under oath in court documents, and testify to it under oath. And attorneys violate professional rules of conduct, giving false evidence to their judge. You can look it up. They quote me as saying that's going to be the vehicle. So they're trying to show, and they have to have a little bit of semblance of justice to show the public, even though you don't get to adjudicate, which if they had charged me criminally, you'd have got to hear it in a courtroom. Maybe their judges won't let you give evidence. Vote them out, don't retain them. So they quote me as saying that's going to be the vehicle. I didn't say that. They swear to under oath that I said that. I didn't say that, they lie. The transcript of the pursuit, I say, and you can listen to it, it's on the internet. It's not even hidden. That's what they say in court documents. That's going to be the vehicle. It comes out of my mouth. You can listen to the video. It's on the internet now. The pursuit on Andersonville Pike on YouTube. I say, listen to what I say. I say 10-4. That's probably going to be the vehicle. I'll check exactly what I said. They changed that to that's going to be the vehicle. There's a huge difference, because I said probably. That's not knowing for sure, but maybe highly likely. They changed that to make it seem like I knew the car was back there because I saw it when I passed it, they're claiming, and I said it after they dispatched me to the wreck because I knew it when I passed it. So they're trying to incriminate me by adding evidence that ain't there and lying to the judge, and the judge doesn't care. He's part of the crime. So they lied in their proof. The critical incident response team, the con en route to rig the truth, lied because they're trying to present that I knew the car was back there because I drove past it intentionally, seeing it. When in fact, I didn't know it was there. That's not true, that's a lie. Because I thought the car could have went down the road or could have went the other direction because it's off the road in the dark. No one would have seen it. Their own expert would have known that. What I said was, that's probably not sure. I didn't know. But they're trying to say you knew, that's what you said. And they lied, they added a word in their own documents. Transcript of pursuit. 10-4, that's probably going to be the vehicle. I'll check. Rule 12D, a lawyer shall not counsel a client to engage or assist a client in conduct that the lawyer knows or reasonably should know is criminal or fraudulent. So that's fraudulent. Deborah Martin. Rule 3.3, candor towards the tribunal. A lawyer shall not knowingly make a false statement of fact or law to a tribunal. A lawyer shall not offer evidence the lawyer knows to be false. A lawyer shall not affirm the validity of or otherwise use any evidence the lawyer knows to be false. This rule governs the conduct of a lawyer who is representing a client in connection with the proceedings of tribunals such as a court or administrative agency acting in adjudication capacity. It applies not only when the lawyer appears before the tribunal, but also when the lawyer participates in activities conduct pursuant to the tribunal's authority, such as pretrial discovery in a civil matter. So they're violating rules. They're violating rules of the court. A lawyer, but I can't be a lawyer, but the lawyers that they have are violating rules. But I'm honest. So she said, quote me as saying, in their Shelton troop, the exact line on the exhibit, on the video, grieving after his dispatch, heard to say that's going to be the vehicle. So I know it's there, I said that. What I really said was that's probably going to be the vehicle. Listen to the pursuit, you'll hear it. So obviously, this false assertion is obvious. They incriminate the innocent and clear the guilty that caused a 16-year-old dead. That Trooper Morgan, while stopped, knew the vehicle was back there wrecked because they falsely say he knew because he said the vehicle. Because he said he knew that's going to be the vehicle. But that's not what he said. He said 10-4, that's probably going to be the vehicle. I'll check. If the Department of Safety has a case, Trooper Morgan saw the vehicle and chose to ignore it, then give the evidence that you have to prove that. Even if you make up evidence you know or should know is not true to prove what you believe. Mr. Morgan has testified numerous times under oath that he did not see and explained in detail why the Department of Safety, which is obvious to prove their false assertion. This is a clear violation of ethical rules. There are numerous other incidents in the record, false, fraudulent, and innuendo, clearly on a mission to attempt to prove something that is not true. How many other false assertions are there by the Department of Safety that are hidden with us no way to know? And they won't give us evidence. They won't even release their pursuit policy now. So they clear the guilty and convict the innocent. And here's the rest of this. Logic. If you ask someone a question and you know the answer by fact, and then the person gives you a false answer to something they know to be false, you ask them another question, you do not know the answer. In light of the previous false answer, how do you know they are telling the truth since you have no way to find out? Other than Bruce Siddle, the Department of Safety's trainer who disagrees with THP, no other agency investigated this. A lawyer's own knowledge, as in an affidavit by the lawyer in a statement in open court, may properly be made only when the lawyer knows the assertion is true or believes it to be true on the basis of reasonable, diligent inquiry. There are circumstances which failure to make a disclosure is equivalent of an affirmative misrepresentation. The obligation prescribed in Rule of Professional Conduct 1.2 do not to counsel a client to commit or assert the client in something committing a fraud applies in litigation regarding compliance with Rule 1.2t. See the comment to that rule. Prohibits lawyers from engaging in conduct involving dishonesty, fraud, deceit, misrepresentation. Such conduct reflects adversity on the lawyer's fitness to practice law. So they say I'm not fit to practice law when they have a lawyer practicing law that's engaged in deceit. But the judge went along with that, didn't he? Because they will. In the video, the judge engaged in fraud from behind a judicial bench. Don't retain these people. They won't just do that to me. They'll do that to you. If they will do that to the number one lifesaver in the state that's protecting you, what will they do to you? They do it every day, all day long. They lie, lie, lie. Don't retain these judges. I sent that message out. I know what I'm doing. Don't retain these judges. There's been hints on there that it'll backfire. Well, you still got to do what's right and tell the truth and fight the backfire. The judge said, Judge Randall Lefevre, item 5. The grievance in-car video recorded the silver car crashed and its tail light glowing. So the judge lied. The judge said, when I passed the car that was off the road in the dark, that they claim I seen who was there, why I would drive past it knowing the video camera was on, they can't explain that. I mean, I have to be either the most inept trooper in the world to see what they say was clearly visible, and they lie about the visibility of it. And even a witness backing me up said the same thing I seen, didn't even know existed. Or the dumbest trooper in the world that seen a wreck, knew it was on video, and thought, oh, the camera won't pick it up. Or they're lying under oath, committing crimes, and they're not arresting 2,500 of you. Every one of them are guilty, and there's not more than that. I mean, it's pretty obvious to see. This stuff isn't high science. They've got a gun. They don't care what you believe. The best you can do is go vote them out. So, Judge Lefevre, item 5, the grievance in-car video captured the silver car crashed and its tail light glowing. The judge engaged in illegal conduct. Vote him out. You can see the car over here. This isn't as clear a picture. You can look at it on the internet. No tail lights on. It didn't have a tail light on. No tail light on. There's a picture of the tail lights on. You can see very clearly the glow in the tail lights. And there's not a glow in the tail lights. So you can see very clearly that the judge is lying. A judge, court adjudicated lie, proven by fact. I know that because I was there. Past the car, it was dark. That's one of the reasons why I thought it was a parked car. Didn't lie about anything. They did under oath in their court papers. Proven document. You can look at the video and see. There's no tail light on that car. They lied. The judge lied. You can't even appeal facts that the judge has adjudicated. They won't let you do that. So it's even harder for you to get that through an appeals court with the trial courts lying. So they lie. And they incriminated me and cleared a trooper. That was wrong. Now here's Bill Gibbons. A few months before I complained on Lionel Russell, who was endangering my life. I'm not allowed to protect my life. You're just a dumb trooper that has no political connections. You complain about a supervisor who's asking you to do things that's dangerous to your life. Well, why don't you get rid of you? You don't report the brass. You die for the brass. Die for Lowell Russell. No. No, thank you. I'm still alive. They don't own the truth. Here's a few months before I complained on Lionel Russell, who his brother now, amazingly, I think is a lieutenant now with Highway Patrol because he protects society, because the government promotes the government and it promotes the government and stomps on you. You want that to keep going? Listen to the naysayers in Scott County that are probably going to get a nuclear waste dump. Some of them don't even live there that are on YouTube. Here's a letter by the trots to the bathroom, and now he's deceased. A lying, dirty jerk, disgusting individual. Do not piss on his grave. I said don't. Speak the truth about him. He's a disgusting person. He was a Seventh-day Adventist, a deacon in the church. Church title don't mean jack shit. It means they got a title where you believe they're being honest. He's a dirtbag, a crook, a liar. He went to the scene to incriminate me, to lie, to to stomp on the blood of soldiers who fought for a fair judicial system. He's tromping on the blood of soldiers. What worse could you say about a man than Colonel Tracy trots to the bathroom? Now, I mentioned that at that damn forum the other day, that why should we brag on these people after they're dead that have committed atrocities when they're alive? I mean, we're going to brag on Hitler? The neo-Nazis do. I'm not going to do that. Trotz is the dirtbag responsible for thousands of Tennesseans' death on Tennessee roadways. So, good job, Trooper Morgan, looking beyond the original charge. That could turn into a significant case. Send my thanks to Trooper Morgan. We appreciate his dedication and hard work. TT, Tracy Trott. That's Trott praising me to high heaven until I complained on a sergeant who was trying to get me killed. So dangerous he hurt himself. Look at this right here. Tracy trots to the bathroom, 3/28/2011. So they got rid of me in 12/2. Good job, Trooper Morgan, looking beyond the original charge. This could turn out to be a significant case. Send him my thanks. Trooper Morgan, we appreciate his dedication and hard work. So I was dedicated to hard work, according to him, 3/28/2011. So less than a year later, I was a dirtbag thug, according to Tracy Trott. Why is that? Here's early March 26, Trooper Charles Van Morgan conducted a traffic stop in Knox County on a vehicle occupied by two black males. Trooper Morgan arrested the driver for DUI. 30 credit cards were found in two different names and fraudulent DLs. One belonged to a passenger but was later determined to be the DL. Came back to a deceased Hispanic female from Texas. Laptop was found with a card reader along with maps to all the Walmart stores in the Knoxville area. Walmart's with a card reader along with maps to all Walmart stores in the Knoxville area. Walmart's will be obtained in the morning for forensic on laptops. CDI Agent Bill Smith, TBI, and FBI assisting should have more info tomorrow after warrants obtained. Let me know if you need further. So this is Charles Sanders, Satter Fatter, praising me. 3/28/2011, praising me to death here. And look at this, 3/29/107, Cheryl Sanders, Albertson, who lied on me. All these people, Rex Prince, yeah, all these people praising me. Yeah. What the hell happened? You saw a wreck and drove past it? No, didn't they know that? They even lied. They said that I seen it. I know that's going to be the vehicle when I didn't. I said it's probably. Changing evidence. Lying on police reports. What happened? Between there and less than a year, I reported a sergeant for trying to get me killed, tell me to do stuff that's dangerous as hell. Calling me on the phone when I had car stop, mandating that I stay on the phone with him. I mean, what a dirtbag. Now he's a hero. So dangerous, telling me to do dangerous stuff that he got himself hurt on the interstate. You heard the wreck, he's a hero because he's a dumbass. Because I complained on him to protect myself. Then they turn, all of a sudden I'm a dirtbag that's seen a wreck. Yeah, right. If they did that to the #1 trooper in the state, what do? You Tennessee Highway Patrol troopers, I'm telling you, get out and hammer drunk drivers. You don't have 100, they'll spank you. You get 100. They'll do whatever the hell they want to do. There is no semblance of decency or accountability in that agency. If you are working for them, I'm very sorry for you. Now look at this. An award-winning state trooper shot and killed a man. Trooper involved in fatal shooting in West Tennessee. So, Dwayne Stafford. Didn't make nowhere near the amount of safe drunk driving arrests that I made. Didn't save anybody from a burning vehicle. Shot, killed somebody on a traffic stop. But they justified, they said that he did the right thing. It's all right, he's justified. Had a reason to use deadly force. Hey, they said it, it's right. Who's your daddy, boy? You try to shoot at me, I got a right to defend myself. I don't give a damn if you got a badge on. Now, I don't know what happened. I do know the Highway Patrol lies. And they're out here arresting you innocently every day. So he shot somebody and killed him. And they cleared him. Now he's a captain. He's training these troopers how to make drunk driving arrests. And maybe how to defend themselves in fatal instances on the interstate, whether you deserve it or not. Because his daddy, Trooper Dwayne Stafford, 27, shot and killed somebody on a traffic stop. Justified. And they named him Trooper of the Year 1 year. He didn't make nowhere near the drunk driving arrest, the public safety, but he's Trooper of the Year, shot and killed somebody, cleared. I'm telling you how they get by with this stuff. His daddy, Captain Stafford. So Captain Stafford cleared his boy. Wow! So if his boy shoots you, kills you, slams into you in a high-speed pursuit, you call in the Highway Patrol. I want to complain on that trooper. Right there, so you complain to. You call his daddy. And that's the way you get, that's justice in Tennessee, who's got ties to the judge. You'll never get it through a judge. His boy did a damn thing. So you call his daddy, Captain Stafford. Isn't that amazing? How that works out. If he shoots you, I'll put this side by side so you can see it. If he shoots you, look at this. He shoots you. Killed a man, shot. Spokesman Trooper Dwayne Stafford, 27. And you call and complain to the Tennessee Highway Patrol. And you call his daddy, Captain Stafford, second generation state trooper. And that's who you complain on. And you're gonna get justice. Call your daddy. I'll shoot you if he might even tell you, I'll shoot you if I want to. He'll turn off his mic. I'll shoot you if I want to. You call my daddy. See what he does. He'll tell you that, y'all need me to move? Y'all need me to move? Somebody don't like what I'm saying, they put down stuff here. You ever heard of the First Amendment? I'm just saying. 4 soldiers died the other day to protect my right. Thank y'all for the job you do. I know you're underpaid. You're not on anymore. God bless you. Yeah, but if you wanna look me up, see how good I'm doing, look at Scott County News. I'm on the front page of the paper. Breaks my heart. I got this show will be about 50,000, I hope. But anyway, so if he shoots you dead, you call the patrol, and it isn't just them. They're full of nepotism. People got promoted because of politicians. And they promote them because when they work their wrecks that they're involved in that hurt you, they'll clear them and incriminate you. They lie. You can't get the truth out of these people. They lie on police reports. The judges lie for them. So if they shoot you, you call the THPP, then you get their daddy. Your boy shot me. That's gonna go over well, about as well as you'd think. They're only gonna give us a rat's ass. He gets by with his killings. So one of the troopers investigators that worked the wreck that I was trying to save the person from lied on a police report because the colonel told him to. He said that the witness looked out her bedroom window and saw that I'd seen a wreck when her actual statement says she looked out her window and said she couldn't see anything because they're trying to light up the car. So he wrote that in his police report. Lying on a police report. They lie on police reports. So he's also incriminating me wrongfully. And now he works for the Sheriff's Department, Knox County Sheriff's Department. He's a sheriff's deputy. Now they have killed somebody on Sevierville Pike. He's part of the warrants department. They have no body cam. Even if they had body cam, they lie about what's on the body cam. You don't understand, they'll lie about what's on the body cam. Just like in Scott County. You can obviously see a man standing there, acting like he's a cop, insulting me. And they lie because I get angry because somebody's insulting me. Anybody would. Anybody would. He's lucky I didn't knock the hell out of him. That's one free one. Dumbass don't know what he's dealing with. But he wrongly lied in a police report, signed his name to it. Now he's working for the Sheriff's Department in the Warrants Division. The Warrants Division killed somebody on Sevierville Pike about 6 miles from where I live. They got no body cam, and they allege that the guy pulled a gun on him, but they ain't got no body camera. They were in his house early in the morning and killed him. Logic. You know the answer to a question that you ask somebody that doesn't know you know the answer. And they lie about it. So you know they're a liar. The sheriff's deputy that used to be a trooper lied on the police report. He tried to incriminate me, saying the witness said something she didn't say. She looked out her bedroom and couldn't say anything. Says that 6 times in her statement that's recorded. He says she looked out her window and seen a car hit a tree. That's not what she said. She looked out her window and couldn't see it, just like me. They're trying to incriminate. It's easy. The witness seen it. Trot seen it. A week later, everybody's seen it. It's easy. Why would I drive past a car that I seen a wreck after I've saved people's lives before? I wouldn't do that. That's a dirty lie. Why would a trooper turn around on a car and not turn his emergency equipment on and kill a 16-year-old? Because he don't want to do a pursuit report. Takes a little time. You got to get off your ass and work a little bit. Worthless trooper. That didn't even cover up a homicide, helped him. So now that trooper is a member of the Knoxville Police, the Knox County Sheriff's Agency in the Warrants Department that killed somebody. They want you to take their word for it. So I know they lie. So they said they didn't do anything. I don't know if they didn't or not, because I know they lied before. If they're wanting to be an accountable agency, they got a new sheriff. Why don't they get rid of the liars, known liars? I can prove they got a sheriff deputy in the Warrants Department that killed somebody subject to litigation that lied in a police report. I can prove that by fact with a statement from the witness saying she didn't see anything and a police report with his name signed saying that she saw something immediately. Two different things. See how they slightly leave things out. Devil's in the details. I know what they're trying to do. And now he's on the same department, Warrants Department, that killed somebody. They lied in the report and they say, trust us. No video, trust us. And they got a new sheriff and he says, trust me. Well, make us earn your trust. Get rid of that trooper, Joe Walker. He's a liar. He got hired by the Sheriff's Department because he backs up the lies in the Sheriff's Department. Not because he stands for the truth and the Constitution, because he steps on the blood of soldiers, which is why he got promoted and goes anywhere in the state as a police officer, because the sheriff and the other officers know you can do whatever the hell you want to do. He's got our back. He's got our crimes. He'll cover it up. And if they want somebody hung out, he'll lie for them. Now, he covered up a murder. You think this stuff is funny? Scott County, this is a big game. I don't know what I'm talking about. Have you ever worked for a police department, seen them do this evil, wicked, corrupt stuff? See, have a deputy, former deputy, trying to act like he's a law enforcement officer that's covering up spreading a conspiracy theory. This stuff ain't high science. It's real easy stuff to figure out. I've got a law degree, but I can figure this out without one. So he was up in Claiborne County, where I went after they fired me. They said I dropped charges. I went on my own time on a subpoena after I wasn't even getting paid. They want to work you for nothing. I did, because I didn't want to see somebody get by with a drunk driving murder where they killed 2 people. But in Claiborne County, they had a domestic dispute at a house. Joe Walker was a detective at the time for the Highway Patrol. They had a state trooper respond with the county sheriff's department, Claiborne County, on a domestic dispute, which he's not supposed to respond to a domestic dispute unless the agency requests him and he gets approval from a supervisor, none of which took place. Joe Walker's investigator, it's a trooper they want to clear guilty, and he killed somebody dead. DRT, dead right there. And I know I'm telling you about this, but this is, if you've ever been, your boots on the ground, Vietnam veterans, I want to talk about, seen these real dead people, and they know worse than me. It's not funny, it's not pleasant. They got newspaper reporters that enjoy that stuff. I hated that stuff. I enjoyed doing my job so that to prevent it. But Joe Walker, same one works for the sheriff's department now, covered up a murder, incriminated an innocent person. But still, he'll be a police officer as long as he damn well pleases, because he backs up lies for a crooked sheriff's department. By their own admission, 8 years later, I mean, they're indicting some of the sheriff's deputies. So, he's working for the sheriff's department now, but he was working as a highway patrol investigator. Yeah, they got to do this one. And we'll move around just a murder by a sheriff's deputy or by a state trooper took place in Claiborne County, a domestic dispute. So many people got in here. Move it around a little bit. Domestic dispute took place in Claiborne County. This same trooper, Joe Walker, a great man he is, took place in Claiborne County, and the sheriff's department responds to domestic disputes in the county. That's not a highway patrol incident. The highway patrol is Tennessee Highway Patrol. It's supposed to patrol the highways. The legislature set up the highway patrol for highways because they didn't want a state police in Tennessee. We don't trust the government in Tennessee. They're not a state police. They tried to change the name, tried to change the name to state patrol, to step closer to state police. The legislature didn't go along with it. Troopers didn't go along with it. They know how dirty the state is. So Joe Walker has got this case where a trooper shot and killed somebody at a domestic dispute, allegedly. Wasn't even supposed to be there. He goes, what happened is, Joe Walker told me, he's covering up for the state. He got there and a trooper had responded to the call. Not even supposed to be there. Highway patrol. Wasn't requested by the sheriff, Claiborne County Sheriff. Wasn't cleared by a supervisor. They changed that rule when a trooper in Jefferson County shot a woman at a cemetery. They didn't have any rules. If you need to back up an officer, you just went. A trooper responded to a call at a cemetery, a sheriff's department call, not on the highway, involving a lady that was at her husband's grave threatening to kill herself. She went there and deputies got the call and she started pointing a gun at them, and a trooper responded. He seen her pointing the gun at the lady in the at the cemetery, seen him pointing the gun at the deputies, and he shot her from a distance. He killed her. So after that, they decided they were going to put up rules for troopers responding to county calls. They didn't want them involved in that stuff. Makes them look bad when they have to kill somebody. So they established the rule that in order to respond to a sheriff's department or city call, their highway patrol, you have to have requests from the officer that has to request a supervisor that has a request your supervisor give you permission to go. You can't just respond over here and over the radio. So that deputy, that trooper in Claiborne County responds to the domestic dispute. Not even supposed to be there. He shows up. The house next to the house where the domestic calls at, the trooper gets it wrong. He gets behind a tree at the wrong house. A man comes out of a house with a shotgun, not involved in the pursuit, perfectly legal on his property, to have a shotgun. He don't know what the hell's going on. He shoots that man, thinks it's a domestic dispute. It's not at the same place. Kills him. Domestic dispute's at the other house. Trooper's not supposed to be there, kills an innocent man. What happens? Have you heard any conviction about the trooper? No, Joe Walker goes in, clears him. Thinks it's funny. So they'll show up and kill you. Joe Walker, hey, this is good. You're in with the end. That's what they do to you all across Tennessee. They'll clear murderers that are violating the policy. He's a dirtbag. If the sheriff wants credibility, get rid of Joe Walker. No, he won't. But he's on the team that investigates your killing. Thanks for the contribution. Got over 105 likes, so they're dirty as hell. They will kill you and get by with it. I got a right to say that. You can make a difference today. Betsy Henderson here in Knox County is a mayor here. Go vote for her. Got a rogue Democrat running against her. Vote for her. I endorse her for the county mayor. So get up and go vote. It's not free. Soldiers paid for your privilege to go vote. Now, they call me a nut, these Facebook trolls. I'm in the mainstream. I put out a survey. Do you believe a special prosecutor's office should be set up to investigate wrongdoing by Tennessee judges and public officials? 82.8% said yes. That's mainstream stuff. I'm not teaching conspiracy. Only 17% said no, there shouldn't be a special prosecutor's office to investigate wrongdoing, what I'm trying to point out, by the judiciary. So we have a wrecks here in Knox County that are covered up almost on a daily basis. One wreck, Bob and Mark Chitwood. Here he is. Here you are, Mark. How you doing? Big tough guy, ain't you? Yeah. So he was involved in a wreck. Look at this, all these places to work on, and they come right here, trying to get Mark Chitwood, trooper. And dangerous. To himself and you. Put that right in his nose. So Mark Chitwood, he made that picture public. He's a real piece of work. Now he was the trooper, as far as I can tell, involved in a wreck that put somebody serious bodily injury in Blount County that was withheld for months. He was let's wait till they cut this, the whole bridge, and they pick this right here to work on that. So the wreck that's worldwide. Now he ought to be world famous, worldwide. How you doing, Mr. Chitwood? You like me? Soldiers fought so I can speak against you. You're a government agent. Try to hurt me, I got a right to defend myself. I wouldn't have much trouble with you little girly man. So, worldwide, J.D. Vance on the world stage comes to Maryville, and this brilliant trooper, smart, real smart guy, yeah, gets into a wreck with another patrol car, 2 police officers running into each other. So the public's at fault. 2 cops hit each other, no. And they covered up what happened. I sent in a public information request trying to find what happened in that wreck between 2 police officers. Witnesses said that the trooper pulled over in the lane where the motorcycle was going. They said nothing about people on the scene, the motorcycle exceeding the speed limit, but the highway patrol's investigating it, so they want to clear their trooper. They clear the innocent and incriminate the guilty. But they admit that he shouldn't have changed lanes like he did. But no penalty, no disciplinary action, although he put somebody in the hospital with long-lasting damages, and he hit another police officer. A damn genius. Woo! Tough guy. Smart. Enforces the law on you. Can't drive. Now, I wonder, had it been a civilian, they'd have flipped it. A SERT team would have come out there and said, you did wrong, you're going to jail for hitting this trooper. Yeah, that's what that said. But since he hit another police officer, oh, well, he did wrong, but the police officer did wrong speeding, but none of the people at the incident said it. The other officer was speeding. So they're clearing the good old boy. They said because of his record, their record that they gave him, where he's a star. You little peddly piece of shit. And you don't like me calling you that? You're a big tough trooper. Come and violate the Constitution. Yeah, I'll defend myself, boy. You think I'm a toy, don't you? You piece of shit. You worthless, godless. What else can I say? And, you know, I feel bad for his wife. Here, I'll cover up his wife. Married to a thing like that. Hurt somebody, serious bodily injury, death. What would happen if you was involved in a wreck where you hurt somebody, serious bodily injury, death? The world knows how dirty the Tennessee Highway Patrol is, and how inept they are. They run into each other while they're guarding J.D. Vance. Wouldn't put it out till they had to. And then they say he should have made a turn, but no disciplinary action. Who does he know? Who does that dirtbag know? They incriminate the innocent and exonerate guilty dumbasses that could even hurt themselves. Wow. Mark Chitwood, he's a hothead. I'm out here, Mark. You want some of this? I got a God-given right, a constitutional right to run for office. Try to stop me. And they might. I got a right to speak the truth about him. It's the truth. He hurt somebody, made the highway patrolman in the state of Tennessee on a world stage. You don't think everybody listens to J.D. Vance's motorcade? What happens to him? The world does. A lot of people like him dead. These people had a wreck guarding him between themselves. I mean, how incompetent and inept. Put somebody in the hospital, serious bodily injury, could have killed somebody else, admittedly made a mistake. That was horrific. No disciplinary action. but it's fair across the board. It's not fair, it's rigged. It's rigged. Their incident response team picked that out. Wow. And here is the teen who died in double fatality was spirit leader seen as a role model at William Blount, April 15, 2012. 16-year-old Amanda Dorn Cohen was on her way home to retrieve pom-poms for a dance to practice at William Blount High School when she was struck head-on, killed Tuesday on US 411. The driver and the other vehicle, John C. Perkins, 44, officials said had already been caught speeding, died the next morning. What they don't tell you is General Order 411 that they won't release today, that the trooper violated state law and policy not giving that girl a warning. Let's cover her for the good old boys that messed up a wreck. I mean, that's what they're doing. So, yeah, 16-year-old dead because the trooper didn't warn her with emergency equipment on, false state law. Murder of woman Shannon Honeycutt remains unsolved. Why? Because that same trooper worked her homicide as a wreck in spite of training. But I'm not allowed to give, if you want to call it my version of events. It's my version, I got a right to say it. They won't let me say it. Why not? Why is that? Why? If I'm so wrong and so off and so horrifically fabricating, why won't they let me say it? They could say, well, here's what he said, and look, here's a picture, a screenshot in this video with the light on. Because they can't, because I'm telling the truth. And I'm not doing this because it's dangerous. For me, it's dangerous for you. So, double fatal. Colonel Trott's not coming down to the scene because of the seriousness of the incident. Sanders does not know if he had on blue lights and siren on to turn around, but says he was not in pursuit. Maybe he did not file an ADA complaint against his supervisor. No internal investigation, no internal affairs. So they clear him. They clear him. They will incriminate you too, so well, I'm in harm's way, protecting you. Let's see how many people got in here. So y'all over 100, like, share, comment, spread the message. Even their own damn expert that worked for them, that they claim they have the best training in the world, in the state, in the world. They're bringing people in from other places to make sure their training is up to par. Other nations, wow. I'll train you. Be honest in your investigations. Imagine that, honesty. They lie. Even if you're not honest, at least let somebody else say you're not honest. They won't even do that. Try to beat on me. You won't beat on me again. Let me promise you that. So, the Tennessee Department of Safety. It could be argued that the department's belittling Mr. Siddle's educational background is hypocrisy of the highest order, given that the department itself relies specifically on the research, opinions, teachings, and writings of Mr. Siddle to train the very troopers it claims must be held to the highest standards. So the expert that trains in their classes at their academy that they claim is the best said, watch the video on my YouTube, I did nothing wrong in the pursuit I was in. Their own expert said that. What do? They hired another expert with your money. With your money, you pay for your own demise under the Christian governor that's over at Bill Hasbin's house that's getting rich off dead convenience store clerks. That's true. So they hired another expert to criticize the real expert. They'll do whatever it takes to get their lies across their goal line, and their judges will buy them hook, line, and sinker, even if they're not true. Mr. Siddle provides training and educational materials to the Tennessee Highway Patrol Training Academy. In fact, Mr. Siddle was able to identify 2 books utilized as text by the Tennessee Highway Patrol Training Academy, as well as information that part of the training on driving instructions. The information from Mr. Siddle, upon which the department relies in training, specifically addresses some of the issues the department now disputes in this matter. Sergeant Christopher Dye. So now he's a captain. They go along with the program. Step over the bodies, yeah, and they think I'll back down. The truth is the truth. So they criticize their own expert witness, said I didn't do anything wrong. I had an exceptional rating by my supervisor after that incident happened. after they investigated that, we talked about the suit, because Colonel Trott came down to the scene to incriminate me because of a confidential complaint filed by me against confidential. I didn't even make it public. I complained against the brass because he was about to kill me, have me assassinated by some of the dangerous things that he was having me do. But you can't do that to them. Can't tell the truth about the brass. It's all about their power. And they'll get a judge that they reassign to go along with their lies if they don't pick a judge. And here's why you need to vote the judiciary out of office. Don't retain them. Here is a Tennessee judge. 3 lawyers tapped as finalists for Knox County Criminal Court. So here's the governor promoting his crony. And that's who they'll elect. So Friday we'll probably go to on the scene of an incident where a critical incident took place and talk to you about the cover-up of the THPP and state government. And I'm going to post on my page the clip of the horrific, horrible things I had to go through in Scott County and explain to you what you see. And you can look, it's what you see. They're trying to distract you from that by not telling you the facts and not showing you the whole thing. I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm going to post what they're trying to use to defame me. Now, they're going right down the middle of the road. A motorcycle going between cars. They do that because troopers can't catch them, police can't catch them. And they can't use spike strips on motorcycles. So there's one just going down the road between, you probably seen him here, going down the middle of the road between cars at a high rate of speed, breaking the law. But, and I'll tell you exactly what you see in real time, and then they're trying to deceive you. I'll post what they're trying to use against me. Now, they won't even post the whole thing. They didn't have a battery plug for me to charge my battery up. My phone died. I was trying to record it because I know what happens. They lie about stuff. I only show clips and frame it. And they made me wait almost 2 hours before I got to speak, and my phone ran down. But I was trying to record it, but they're only showing clips. And they're trying to show me angry, which I did get angry. You'd listen to what the man says to me and you'd get angry too. I thought I handled it well. Somebody else would have punched him in the damn face. And they better not do it again, I'll tell you that right now. And I'll go back to Scott County. I'm not afraid of you people. I don't bring people with me because I don't like to endanger other people's lives. Simply running for governor, running and encouraging people to vote, this movement, Voters of Truth and Rage, subscribe to the channel, puts me in jeopardy of my life from the government, people in government power, let alone the citizens. They won't not only protect me, people in the government try to hurt me. Free country, stepping on the blood of soldiers that died for the Constitution and our constitutional rights. And we'll answer a few questions. We'll go live maybe Monday to a on-the-scene location where a tragic event happened to talk about that. So watch the show Monday. So people have put pepper down. It's a little bit hot because they know I broadcast live from here. So they're trying to mess me up. So you know, that's how much truth we're getting out. Why, if you're not saying anything important, why are they concerned about what you're saying? So we'll read a few comments if you got any here. Watch the show Euro and Travel. Shout out to Tom Pippin and his co-host. Sometimes he's only host on the show. Let's see what this says here. Power wants to remain in power. That's why the Democrats cheated their asses off to remain us in power, to retain their free money. That's right. America, it's our waking up. Thank you. Join the channel, subscribe. Let's get this movement out. And thank you to my subscriber. Tax the rich, that's right. Their fair share. Trickle-down economics is a sham, and anyone who read Rich Dad, Poor Dad knows it. Robert Quincy himself said he doesn't pay his employees any more than he legally has to. That's right. It says, what explicit are you talking about? Maybe the Republicans control the House, they control the Senate, they control the White House, and the Supreme Court. What power did the Democrats keep? Well, maybe it's people that shouldn't be in the Republican Party, voting against the truth in their own party. Maybe they're not real Democrats. Let's see some of the first comments I got on here. Got 107 likes. Thank you all very much for showing up. We appreciate it. We're getting a message out. No, so Israel will not be nuked. Obama, Iran had in check for 10 years. The JCPOA was working. Even the Israel intelligence agreed it was working. Okay, I don't know what that's about. We're not talking about Israel. So, thank y'all for joining. Let's get 110 likes and we'll get the heck off here. Subscribe to the channel, help us get this message out. We're going to repost, check our Facebook page. I'll repost messages. It's about messaging working well. We've stirred up the beehive, but we'll be fine, hopefully. Trump is exposing himself when he says out elections are rigged. They are rigged. Rigged as hell. Both ways. Count every vote and tax the rich. There you go. Amen. Hannibal 54689. That's right, brother. Preach it. I'm preaching to the choir with you, ain't I? You got it. Thank you. So, 2 more likes. And any more comments, I'll read them right now live on the air. An Englishman hoping you put right in 4 months what you got so wrong about 20 months ago. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't get 20 months ago. If he's talking about the elected Donald J. Trump, well, I'm responsible for that debacle, partly my one vote against the establishment, because that's what I voted against, and I'm proud of it. It's working well. I'd do it again. Any man that's got a mugshot, I'm voting for, because it's the government that gives you the mugshot, and they don't always get it right. Trump was elected with roughly 30 to 40% of the voting population. He has sourced a lot of Republicans since then. Soured. No, he hasn't. That's what the news says. You believe the news, don't you? The people I talk to love Mr. Trump all across the state of Tennessee. He's still popular. The news lies. And also I want to shout out to the Scott County News. Get online, buy that paper. I think it's $1. Give them some money for putting my name on the front page. I know it's trash, but you don't understand, it's part of the plan. They don't think intuitively, so if they sell out a lot of papers, it says some really cool stuff, read it. None of it is true, substantially, but read it. Buy the paper, sell it out, so they know, hey, we reprinted Charles Van Morgan's name. We made a lot of money, we'll print his name again. Even if it's trash, it's easy to prove it's false. Red states are the best. I don't lock my door. I can open carry or concealed carry without a permit. They don't mess with us around here. Amen, brother. But the problem is there's people in public office in red states that aren't really red. It's fake news. That's right, David. I'm preaching to the choir. All Trumpers are inbred. No, they're not. I voted for Mr. Trump because of the values that he stands for. I got a mugshot just like him for running for government office. If the government puts you in jail when you're a candidate for a political campaign, you must be doing something right for the people. You know that old saying, every time, let's see, a baby is born, a gay leaves town. I don't know what to do. Utah is red state, is the fastest growing, and they're all coming from California. Ask yourself why. Amen. Those are kids leaving town because they don't want to pick up with your bullshit in your town, hiding the fact that accusing of all the men of the town of being deadbeats. Epstein files. Boy, that's just a camouflage for what's really going on in the country. What a living community. I voted for him 3 times. Hey, there you go. I like you, David. You're not fooled by the fake news. What's the matter? You're not a damn fool, David. You're a smart man. I like you. Yeah, you love Israel too. I bet I do. God bless Israel. You do realize that there are a lot of Republicans that live in California, right? Yeah, there is. Good people. Okay, thank y'all for joining. Got 111 likes. A successful show. Few things before I go. Buy the paper in Scott County and get online and get a digital copy. Help me get the message out. It'll let people know, put me on the map. It's almost like cheating. A smart maneuver. They think I'm crying. Thank you, The Dark, for sending a gift. I appreciate it. Wow, appreciate it. Trying to make a clown. That's all right, a cake. So thank you, but here's the thing. Buy the paper, even though it's lies, they'll print another one. It's $1. Get on their newspaper. It'll show them. You say Charles Van Morgan's name, you get money. Don't matter what they print. It's irrelevant. So buy the Scott County newspaper. Go online, buy it digitally. It's $1. That's a really cool line article. And subscribe to my channel. Like and share. Let me turn this off because he's playing music and it'll make it. Let's wait till this man leaves. He turned it off. So if people are playing music, copyright will get me. So he turned it down. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So subscribe to the channel. Help us get this message out against people in government power. And contribute if you can. Somebody gave me a contribution. Thank you. Like and share. Subscribe. And I'm not demanding anybody. If you like it, you like it. It's because I write a good song. If you don't, that's on me. I get it. I'm responsible for my own success. But I certainly appreciate, if you've been watching, there's another gift. If you've been watching, subscribe to the channel and help me get the message out. And thank you all. I appreciate you all. And I pray for my viewers. May God bless and help my viewers. And the ones that hate me, may God punish you for your hatred of me. So yeah, and we'll be back on here Friday. Euro and Travel, Tom Pippin. Shout out to him. Great man. You gotta love him. And his co-host, great man, smart man. You don't fool that man. he debates people and tears them up. He's going to be the next great YouTuber and public debater. We know people like that have gone far. So appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much. Remember, go vote today. Vote these dirty, just judges out of office. Mark the black box says, do not retain. Mark the box says replace. Check out my Facebook page, mate, for messages that I'm sending to the public. We're in this movement. Join, vote, subscribe, and we're on this. Thank y'all very much. May God bless y'all. Until next time, God loves you and I do too.